keeper, someone that Maresca worked with before, is going to go as his number 2. So this could develop very quickly, not just Guardiola's departure, but the replacement being put in situ very quickly.
talkSPORT Sports Update powered by the Nissan Van range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
With the headlines at 1:01, I'm Tom Clayton. Good afternoon. One trophy down, one to go. If Arsenal do win the Champions League, does this team surpass the squad that was invincible in 03-04? Here's one of them, Martin Keown.
If they win the Champions League, yeah, they do. Of course they do. They're the most coveted Arsenal team of all time because they've taken it to the next level. So they've embraced the past and used that as oxygen going forward to create our new history.
Arteta's been in for 7 years. He spent almost £1 billion and finished second 3 times. Simon Jordan says this is pure validation.
The incremental successes of stabilising Arsenal as a top 4 side, competing in Europe, the revenue streams coming back into Arsenal that had been eluded from them for 2 or 3 years were there. So that's the reasons why he was given the patience. And here's the end result.
They'll have a trophy parade on Sunday the 31st of May at 2 p.m. That's the day after the Champions League final, which will be live on talkSPORT. Now, the EFL says the Championship playoff final will kick off at 3:30 on Saturday if it's Hull v Middlesbrough, but if Southampton are reinstated, the game will be at 4:30 as originally planned. The former Saints striker Ricky Lambert says their Spygate punishment is excessive.
For a fella stood behind a tree with a camera, that's way too much. It's too much to take for the club, the players and fans. That shouldn't be. There should be a sacrifice. Whoever took the decision to do that, that's the sacrifice.
Head coach Tonda Eckert's admitted to spying on 3 rival clubs. Saints are appealing the EFL's decision. Michael Salisbury won't ref a game this weekend after giving Matthias Cunha the goal on Sunday. It was allowed despite Brian Mbeumo handling the ball in the build-up. And the former Celtic and Hearts player Mike Galloway has died at the age of 60. Get more on that at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
A planned increase in fuel duty this autumn has been scrapped, and MPs are to write to Channel 4 over welfare concerns for married at first sight contestants. More with Sinead at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. You can't trust the weather right now, but you can always trust Pirelli tyres. In stock now at your local centre. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Brighter spells developing throughout the afternoon, especially in the south, starting to feel warmer too, but there will be the odd shower over Western Hills and in northern Scotland.
It's Danny Dyer! Wig, not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
I'm loyal. Don't tell me. Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1?
Exactly, that's true, yeah.
Hello and welcome to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT. Hawksby and Jacobs for the It's Up for Grabs Now generation. What's coming up between now and 4, Charlie?
To be honest, Max, barely anything has been happening at all in the world of football whatsoever. So there are shows where listeners and management alike, all people want is 3 hours of mindless quizzes, the Wheel of Football, I Spy and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I totally understand. If time. Comedian and Arsenal fan Ian Stone will do some Arsenal. Broadcaster and Arsenal fan Harry Symeou will do some Arsenal. And Arsenal title winner Perry Groves will do some Arsenal.
Arsenal. We'll do Pep and City with Sean Wright-Phillips. Probably cover Arsenal as well. And we'll cover Southampton and Middlesbrough.
up-and-coming broadcaster and Spurs fan, Paul Hawksby, will come
lovely.
on after that defeat to Chelsea last night. Former Villa captain Andy Townsend will join us, and Dan Bardell will as well to do some Villa. And there's no time for anything else. Good afternoon, Charlie. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Max. I just got to say that I have been spying on 3 other shows, as well as the ones I admitted to last week. I've been spying on Radio 3 mid-mornings.
Okay, are they any good? They put out some bangers?
Yeah. Smooth FM Drive.
Yep.
And Classic FM Drive as well. So just put my hands up.
But the irony is, you didn't learn anything from any of those shows.
Nothing at all. I've learned nothing at all.
People are saying, what's the point of Charlie? They aren't helping him with his sports broadcasting. You know, there are shows, I won't name them, that you could have been spying on that would have been some use.
Could still only name you the 1812 Overture. Da, 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 da. I don't even know if that's it. And the William Tell Overture. I don't know any more classical music than that.
I've got to say, I hate to pill you up on this, Charlie, but da 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 is Beethoven's.
It's Beethoven's Fifth. There we are. I've learned nothing, Max. When will I learn?
You absolute moron.
Yeah, they play.
Can I say,
they play the 1812 Overture on Classic FM at 12 minutes past 6.
That's what it is.
What a great joke! That was a lovely joke.
Paul says, ask for a friend. If Hull wanted to spy on their opponent in the final, where would they go? It's a great question.
That's a good shout.
They'd have no idea who to prepare for. Middlesbrough. There must be a good reason. But if it's Middlesbrough, it's 3:30. If it's Southampton, it's 4:30. Is that because it takes longer to get there from Middlesbrough?
Because it takes longer time.
So they say, let's bring it earlier, and so they can get home. But I think the East Coast main line is closed from between York and Darlington on Saturday. So that is a lot of replacement bus
I think they should just let Hull go up. I think that would be my thing. Just let Hull go up.
Do you know the thing is, right?
Because it's a nightmare Saturday. Tickets, all that sort of thing. It's absolute nightmare.
Middlesbrough fans thinking, I can't be bothered. If Southampton had lost that playoff, this might have all just gone away.
I know.
You know,
they should have just lost it on. But
we should congratulate Arsenal, Charlie.
Exactly. I was going to say, Max. Let's do that. You start, and then I'll join in.
Well, I'm not sure if this will make the talkSPORT Instagram reel. In fact, I don't know if whoever runs that knows we exist, Charlie.
Really?
If I'm really honest, but
call them Varsenal, and it might call them Varsenal.
That's a good idea. I just say well done.
Varsenal, you mean? Winning the league with an asterisk. Varsenal.
They won the league, and it was the worst football I've ever seen in my life. Despite watching League Two for almost all my life and playing Sunday League, I've never seen football that terrible.
Be gracious,
and they
Max.
don't deserve,
say something gracious.
They should be given a smaller trophy because of Arteta's trousers.
They should be given that. You remember that little trophy they gave to Arsene Wenger when he won that tiny little Premier League trophy?
Well done. There are lots of good people who love Arsenal. There are lots of good people who love every football club. And those scenes on the Holloway Road and around the Emirates were great. And I was jealous. And I'm delighted for them.
Yeah.
And it is a testament to, all the stuff that Arteta's been teased for, the bonfires.
Trust the process.
And all that stuff. And it's a disgrace here and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's justified, isn't it? Because, yes, they've trousered a lot of money. They've thrown a lot of money at players, but not as much as some other clubs. They are a new Premier League winner, right? 22 years is quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They should be allowed to celebrate. I don't think anyone's saying they shouldn't. No, are the celebration police out at the moment?
I think they're allowed to celebrate. I think they're allowed to celebrate. The only time I am ever envious of people who live in London is actually when I read Nick Hornby's book about Arsenal winning in the It's All Up for Grabs Now season and the celebrations around Old Highbury then and people turning up. That community around North London, around what is now the Emirates and around Highbury at that time, the people's front gardens and it's a tightly knit community. And that is the only time I'm ever envious of it because it looks so fun.
Yeah,
it looks so brilliant. It's everything that football should be. It's about community, and I've done a couple of charity nights for the Arsenal community project.
I see. It's about your charity work. I knew this.
And I know they do. I know most football clubs do a lot of good work in the community, but they are a proper community club. And look, you have to give it to Arteta. He's developed that team. He's come in when it wasn't going well. They were coming fourth, coming eighth. They're coming all sorts. And he's come in and he's made them champions. And congratulations. Also, I've got lots of people who are friends and are Arsenal fans, and they're all nice people.
Happy.
All very nice people.
So yes, as I said, it's unlikely. This is unlikely to get the retweets that we wanted, Charlie.
What should we do one now that they'll use? Arsenal. It should have an asterisk. Should be a smaller trophy. Just long ball, lump it forward. Tony Pulis could have managed them this season. There we go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. So look, well done to them. And there were. I mean, I think they might have had. You wanted more. Obviously, neutrals wanted this to go to the last day, and it's a shame it isn't. And now, I mean, fair play to anyone who watches Crystal Palace Arsenal with both teams ahead of a European final, the deadest football match of all time at the weekend.
Reserves. It'll be the kids, wouldn't it? They'll play the kids.
Probably the kids or the legends. Maybe make it a legends game.
Well, that'd be nice. Get Perry out there.
Ian Wright could play half for each side, couldn't he?
Actually,
Perry Groves could play.
Martin Keown's just passed me, and I said, and I was having a little chat with Martin about Arsenal, but then about how Oxford United, despite I think being one of the teams that Southampton spied on, still beat them, but also went down. Yeah. And Martin went, Oxford fan. I said, no, I'm not. No. I said, I just live near there. He went, all right. Oh, you studied there, did you? Yes, Martin. So, things are looking up.
Well, do you know what? He was the coach. He coached the Oxford University team back in the day.
Did he? The Blues?
I think. Yeah.
Wow.
But I didn't get in the side.
I didn't go to Oxford, Max. Didn't go to Oxford.
Did you not?
Could have pretended. You can check. No one checks. No one checks.
They will let anyone into that place.
Okay.
Now look, Dan Bardell is going to be on, Villa fan, and he sent this tweet out. He's not in Istanbul. He says everyone going in Istanbul have the most incredible time. I'm so jealous, buzzing for all my mates that are going to be there. It wasn't for me tonight. I'm devastated. It's the right thing to do to watch it with my dad at home. He just wouldn't have been able to go. If I get to see us lift a trophy, even just on TV with him, the man who introduced me to Aston Villa, it'll mean more than being there. Yeah. I hope, he says in brackets. I just messaged him. He said, he does regret it at the moment, but he also he knows it's the right thing. And I
think he's made the right choice there.
I think he's made totally the right call, and it really reminds me of the Tottenham getting to the Champions League final, and I had tickets for Madrid. And I gave them to Paul Hawksby, actually, because he didn't have them. And he is a Tottenham-going season ticket. And my love of Tottenham is about watching it on TV and being introduced to my relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
And so I was in Madrid and I flew back on the day of the game to watch it with my dad. And I thought this was a real father-son bonding moment. He wasn't that bothered.
Not bothered.
And he got a train from Cambridge down to London. It was really hot. The train was delayed. Yeah. He missed the penalty. We were 1-0 down when he got there. He didn't get home till 2 a.m. I basically tried to kill an 80-year-old man, and he wasn't that bothered about it. But it is a beautiful thing. And, there will be lots of Villa fans and lots of Arsenal fans. And you can tell us now, who did you watch it with last night, that City game? Yeah. Who are you celebrating with? Who are you thinking of? Villa fans, if you're out there. I know this is sort of, we don't normally do shout-outs, but it's slightly different today, isn't it? For, 22 years, a lot of time has passed since Arsenal last won it. So if you want to just say who you were with, who you were celebrating with, if you're a Villa fan and you're out there, or you're going to stay at home and watch it with someone.
Because people will have been thinking of the person that introduced them to football, bought them their first kit or whatever, showed them Arsenal last night, and the same with Aston Villa tonight.
Of course. And we've done this with England getting to finals. They might not be with us anymore, but if you want to message about them, you can, 81089 at Max Rushden, at Baker's Tweet. And also you mentioned the bare buttocks of Piero Hincapié in the Arsenal-Burnley match, and how incredibly well he did to protect his modesty. When extraordinary how I can't remember which Burnley player managed to peel his shorts and pants off completely with his boot, and then he just squeezed them back on again. But it was an amazing.
What's
bit
your
of
text topic here, Max? Have you ever peeled someone's shorts off with your boot?
It's just an observation. It wasn't a text topic. It doesn't take us anywhere. Anyway, this is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Join the Toolstation Trade Club and get 10% off all electrical and lighting products when you buy cable and flexes. First stop, Toolstation. Perry Groves and Harry Simew will join us, and we'll do some Arsenal in a second.
The one and the only Martin Keown is in our midst.
Jim, I'm just having a drink out of this bottle. Just to reaffirm, if anyone thought we lost our bottle. There it is.
There it is. Is this the same bottle as that Manchester City fan
and it
was
tastes
glugging
beautiful.
out of?
Tastes beautiful, by the way. So, no, congratulations to the club, firstly, Jim, to the players, the supporters. It's been a lot of pain. There's been a lot of commitment, a lot of energy's gone into it. You lose it 3 times. Something that we did as a group and this group now, just to see them, win the Premier League. Fantastic moment for the club. The supporters, I was at the ground last night. Honestly, the amount of support that was there instantaneously, fans everywhere, Jim. There was about 100,000. They're claiming 100,000 people there last night around the ground. A great moment. Fantastic for Arteta.
Yeah.
You guys questioned him. I felt that this would be the year, and it's proved to be the case. So, very satisfying.
Just to be clear, you were at the Emirates and you were there on Arsenal duty, were you?
I was doing a pitch event. A lot of the clubs do this. And I just thought, I need to stay. I need to keep an eye on this. And it was watch the last 20 minutes. I thought Bournemouth were absolutely magnificent in their endeavour. Just the honesty of this Premier League to win it. I think people are saying it's not the best Arsenal team of all time, but you know what? The Premier League now is so competitive, Jim. Bournemouth, look at what they're achieving. Their manager doesn't even have a club for next season, but look, he's going to leave the club that Bournemouth in the 6th place. So I knew it was going to be tough for City, and I think they ran out of steam in the end. And Pep, I thought maybe that would give them a little bit more energy, a bit more oxygen that the manager announces pretty well that he's going on the day of the game, but it proved not to be enough in the end.
I need you to give me a straight answer to this.
It's Danny Dyer! Wig, not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
I'm loyal.
Don't tell me. Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1?
Exactly, that's true, yes.
Well, I think the favourite is always the one that won the previous year. Somebody that has to come and take that crown away from them.
Gabriel has headed Arsenal in front. Arsenal lead by 2-1.
If they want to, cause mayhem at corners in order to score the goals that will get them the title, they've got every right to do that.
And there is a new hero in this part of the capital. His name is Eberechi Eze. It's Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1.
We're not seeing what we've seen in years gone by where they couldn't quite get over the line. They find a way to win now.
Really does set his stall out in terms of making sure he's secure at the back.
In elite sport, you don't get given anything. It's not easy.
Maybe it's the idea of what's at stake.
Is Arsenal's title dream fading away? Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1.
This is not the same Arsenal that used to be, 2 seasons ago.
West Ham 0, Arsenal 1. Leandro Trossard, this could be the biggest yet. Headed in by Havertz. Of course it's a corner. Of course it's a set-piece goal.
Our supporters, they've been waiting for 22 years for something like this to happen.
There's the full-time whistle. Arsenal, for the first time in 22 years, are champions of the Premier League.
Callie says, I called my mum who lives in Scarborough after the final whistle of the Bournemouth game, just burst into tears. I was 12 the last time we won the league. My whole family were born at Islington, Highbury. It means everything. Dan in Grantham says, I lost my dad last year. Truly mixed emotions last night. Elation at finally winning the league again, followed by sadness that he didn't get to see it. I know he's watching down with his dad and celebrating. Love you, Dad.
Lovely stuff.
This says, I watched last night with my 12-year-old boy. Amazing, but incredibly bittersweet. I lost my dad to motor neurone disease 10 years ago. The first Premier League title without him. I've been on and off crying tears of joy and sadness for 15 hours now, says Jack. Amazing what this sport can do, right?
Brilliant. What it's all
let's
about.
Bring in Harry Simew, broadcaster, Arsenal fan, Perry Groves as well. Gentlemen, how are you both?
Congratulations, lads.
Like drink, Chaz?
Thank you. You're better than Perry. Harry, you're better than that.
No, we're not.
Perry, you're better than that.
No, we're not. We're nowhere near better than that. Trust me.
That bottle fan they kept cutting to in the crowd. Come on then, Harry. What does it mean to you, this?
Everything. It's just an unbelievable feeling. You know, to witness those scenes last night in North London, to get to experience it, to be a part of it. It was just magical, and it showed and it highlighted what this means to everybody. You know, for a long time, Arsenal have been laughed at. You know, we've been the bridesmaids. There was banners at Anfield of Mikel Arteta in a bridesmaid's dress and all of that stuff. That's the kind of stuff we've had to endure that I don't think a lot of other clubs do. I don't think a lot of the other legacy big clubs have had to deal with what Arsenal have had to deal with over the last few years. So to get over the line and to have our time and have our moment is just truly magical.
Been us against the world. That's what it's been. Circle the wagons, Arsenal against the world, and Arsenal come out as champions. And what happened as well, like that North London, that still gets in my blood. That makes me emotional.
Yeah.
But what happened is, we are the champions by Queen, right? When that was played, when I lucky enough to win twice with Arsenal at Highbury, when that's played now, that makes me that takes on a complete different connotation now for these group of Arsenal players and the Arsenal fans that can actually belt out "We are the champions," and they'll know it word for word. And it's just, you know, being really honest, it's a bit of relief as well, you know, because it's been building up. We knew that 3 seconds on the trot and this was going to be the season. It had to be the Premier League or the Champions League. And now it could be both. Now that would be mind-blowing. But all Arsenal fans, everybody out there, can now just relax and enjoy this 5 days and have a little wry, smug smile on your face. It's going up till Sunday. Nice little guard of honour from the Crystal Palace players. Like little clap as they come on. Nice little exhibition game. And then enjoy the Champions League final. That's the thing. It's taking the pressure off the Champions League final.
Yeah, feels like a free hit. Harry, did you think, because there wasn't that much jeopardy in the City game, Bournemouth game, and Bournemouth were brilliant, I thought, but David Brooks has those 2 chances, and then Haaland scores, and I think it might be the last minute of injury time, and is it Savinho's cutting in from the left? Like, I don't know how long that took for you. You know, I can't remember if Foden missed it or something, but was there a moment where you were like, oh no?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when it's Manchester City, there always is, you know, because they've got an inevitability about them. They always have had under Pep Guardiola, and that's why when everybody else was saying, oh, look at Arsenal not winning the league against Pep Guardiola's Man City, I think it was really important as fans that we took a pause and went, no, hold on, think about what we're up against here. And it's not to say that we're accepting not winning or mediocrity, as some people like to put it. It's just a realization of the context. And even, you know, last night when, you know, you think that, you know, at 1-0 down with that little time to go, you've done it because they, you know, a draw's not good enough for them. There's still that jeopardy. And there was a reminder of that and how difficult it's been all season for us.
Tell me about this celebration. I know you weren't there. Were you there, Perry?
I was here.
You were here last night.
Yes.
But Harry, you were around the Emirates last night. Were you hanging off a lamppost?
I personally wasn't, but there were plenty of people.
Who was you with,
I took my little boy last night, 7 years old, and he got to experience what it is to be a gooner. Yeah, unbelievable. And you know, he struggled this morning. Not gonna lie, it was a very, very late night. But these are the kind of moments that football can give you and can produce, and that's something he'll remember forever. But the scene's just incredible, how that many people can mobilise in such a short space of time and be prepared with flags and with banners and with the smoke flares and everything. It was just, so special, so special.
Perry, tell me about the importance of Declan Rice in this winning team.
He's the one player that I've said all season, like the squad depth is unreal. And we've been able to replace players, even like Saliba at times, even Gabriel at times. Declan Rice was the one player that you couldn't replace because he is that unique. Not just for Arsenal. I think he's a unique midfield player anywhere around the world. You know, I call him a Springer Spaniel, bouncing from box to box and getting interceptions in the 95th minute, whatever. And he had a little dip where he looked like he was tired, and then in 2 Champions League semi-finals, he came back, didn't he, to the levels that we knew he could be. But the one thing about him is, which I think makes me more proud of this group of players, they get the badge. They get what it's about. They're a bunch of, I said hungry footballers, but they're humble footballers as well. There's no big-time Charlies there, and that is all down to Mikel Arteta. He has changed. We're there for one reason only, is Mikel Arteta. And I thought it was brilliant that you see the some memes and some photos of 5 or 6 Arsenal players, Declan Rice, I think Bukayo Saka was there, that went to the Emirates at like 4:30, 5. Can you imagine being a fan?
So you should.
Walking round, right, thinking, I'm not being funny, I must be completely off my tree. I think I've just seen Declan Rice over there.
Did they pretend that they just turned up, or were they there overnight?
At the Emirates?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they was down at the training ground, weren't they? Yeah, so they're all together.
Can I just say one thing, guys?
Sure.
This is the one thing I need to get in while I'm here, because all my friends will never forgive me if I do it.
Yeah.
But I just want to say a massive shout out to the catering department in this building today, because the amount of humble pie that they're having to serve up to some people on this station.
You guys are
better than that.
I'm just saying better than that.
No, we're not.
Absolutely not.
No, we're not better than that.
We've had to take this all season
22
long.
years.
22
No,
years.
all season, 22
and
years.
it's only intensified with every passing week. So those of you that are going to be eating humble pie, I hope it tastes good. I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to call somebody bottlers, it's not us anymore.
And all those ones, the neutrals saying congratulations.
Yeah.
You don't mean it, do it. They don't mean it. I don't.
I don't agree. I disagree. I really do. Like, I'm a Cambridge fan. If Peterborough run the league, it's different. Like, I love Tottenham, but I'm not an Arsenal hater. But I genuinely mean it for the people I like, until they get really smug, Perry. Just to see those scenes of joy. That's the whole point of this, is to have this, right? Football is when you really strip back what football is, it's totally ridiculous. You know, people running around in different colour shirts trying to get a ball into a net. It's silly. But like, we love it so much, and it moves us to such degree that when you see people loving it, you can't just go, you can't think of another reason to wind you up. It's like, this is a joyous thing. I think it's interesting that like you're both kind of like, this is for you.
It's very social media. It's very so. I don't think you'd have done that before social media. You see, I think you'd have just gone, we're the winners, great, and we all move on. But now I think there's a lot of, I think
maybe
Chaz, in the old days,
there's a lot of division.
In the old days,
division that we need to avoid, and sport doesn't need to have it.
In the old days, we'd have been bang on it for about
well, exactly. Yeah. Just tell me, what is the process before you go? What is the process?
Trust the process.
But what is the process,
Harry?
Harry, tell me what the process is.
The process is putting the right people in the right places, making smart decisions over and over again, and maintaining a level of consistency that means that you will come out on top. And that's what Arsenal have been. There's been times where Man City have been better. There's been seasons I think Arsenal should have won it, and certain moments maybe didn't go our way. But this has been 5-6 years in the making, and Arsenal have made a series of great decisions that have meant that they've been at the top table for this long, and it was going to be our time, and we've had our time, and hopefully we have more time.
Do you know what it is? Football's cyclical, and you have different dynasties. I think Man City, obviously Guardiola going, Mahrez going in, players going, whatever. I said about 4 or 5 years ago that when Guardiola went, we had to be the next cab on the rank. We had to be the next cab that was ready, hopefully, to go on and have that like bit of dominance, maybe 3 or 4 seasons. So if you're this group of players, and they'll strengthen in the summer, they'll be looking around. They've got a chance to make themselves immortal against PSG.
Yeah.
You win both of those, they go to the greatest team that Arsenal have ever had. But knowing Arteta and the coaching staff, they'll be focused on that, obviously. But they'll be now going, right, this isn't just the beginning. This is.
I said that about Liverpool. Liverpool are 5th, I think. Yeah, they're 5th at the moment, and they said that about Liverpool last season. So
I think
Arteta. You could win 5 in a row. It might be another 22 years. You don't know. But thank you, chaps. Thanks for coming in.
Cheers, guys.
North London forever.
Terry Groves and Harry Simi there. Afternoon, gents. I took my eldest son, who was 7 when we last won the league, to every home game of the invincible season. He's had 22 years of emotional pain and turmoil. My youngest first final was when we lost to Birmingham. He asked, why do we support Arsenal? It's character building, I told him. We all watched the game together last night. Although a little anticlimactic winning without playing, we were all emotionally drained by the end of it. 22 years. It's sweeter today knowing how much we've been ridiculed and hated this season. We're all off to Budapest next week, and now it feels like we have a free hit and said, we've not won the league. I'm sure the team wouldn't have recovered to beat PSG. Now it's on. Come on, you Gunners. I don't have a name on this. Maybe you did send a name, but it's not coming through the text board. Anyway, lots of these. Matthew says, can you not just do a whole 3 hours comforting depressed Tottenham fans like me? It's been enough about Arsenal breakfast and Jim White. There'll be more on Drive with Benty. Surely us thoroughly depressed Spurs fans deserve our own show. We just tell us it's all going to be okay. That's what I'm hoping.
Right,
Matthew.
Paul's back tomorrow. Paul's back tomorrow.
Yeah, well, Paul's on at 2:15.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, former Villa captain Andy Townsend joins us. He's over in Istanbul for talkSPORT.
It is a sensational story and so many strands to it. And I've seen a lot of Southampton fans who've come out in condemnation of the club. They say this is the darkest day in their long history. And I think a lot of Southampton fans are quite embarrassed at the way in which their name has been dragged through the mud. As you say, the punishment is immediate expulsion from that playoff final on Saturday, the £200 million game. So they have been stolen of the right to possibly get back into the Premier League the first time of asking, and a 4-point deduction for the start of next season. That's because, as I understand it, the EFL argued that the playoffs needed to be treated as a separate cup competition. Obviously, Southampton admitted spying on Middlesbrough, so that's where that punishment comes from. They also admitted over the course of this hearing with the Independent Commission spying on at least 2 other Championship teams, which is why there's also a points penalty for next season. Southampton appealed it immediately, not because they feel they're innocent, but because they feel the punishment doesn't really befit the crime. One of the things I was told coming out of St Mary's is they feel this is unprecedented. It is, because there isn't a precedent. I know that Marcelo Bielsa escaped with a fine, but it was only after that incident ahead of the Leeds final playoff with Derby that it was put in the rule book. So this is uncharted territory. Southampton have told staff in an email that I've seen from the chief executive, Phil Parsons, their legal team are confident they've got a strong case. They're going to keep preparing for this game on Saturday. I don't think it's going to be overturned in terms of Southampton being allowed to play this final. What could happen is a sort of halfway house where the points deduction gets rescinded. But I think there's enough evidence that Southampton will not take their place at Wembley. We're hearing stories of analysts dressing as staff wearing the kits of non-league Eastleigh when Ipswich were using their training ground in order to spy. So this is quite sinister in many ways. This is not just some bloke who's turned up at the Middlesbrough training ground and filmed a few minutes of training. So I think they're banged to rights. I think they've shown very little contrition. I think it's poor that we haven't had a statement from Southampton in the aftermath of this punishment. We still haven't heard officially from the club.
Yeah,
we're a long way down the line now. Surely they should have had something prepared.
Following Arsenal's first league title in 22 years, talkSPORT's Danny Murphy says despite the money spent, Mikel Arteta's done brilliantly well to transform Arsenal into the Premier League's best side.
They're brilliant at set plays, which should be applauded, not criticised. Their work ethic, their determination, the manager's ability to make sure that everyone stays on track.
Well, 1 down, 1 to go. You can hear the Champions League final live on talkSPORT a week on Saturday, and they have confirmed a trophy parade for Sunday, the 31st of May at 2 p.m. Now, the EFL say the playoff final will kick off at 3:30 on Saturday if it's Hull versus Middlesbrough. But if Southampton are reinstated, the game will begin at 4:30 as originally planned. So is the Football League trying to differentiate themselves from some of the opaque goings-on in the Premier League?
But in the EFL, we're the league of the people. We won't have this. So what we'll do is we'll go to the extreme end of the equation.
Former Palace chairman Simon Jordan thinks Saints being kicked out the playoffs is disproportionate and surprising. Southampton are appealing the decision. And the ref who gave Man United a controversial goal at the weekend has not been given a game this weekend. Michael Salisbury allowed Cunha's goal to stand despite Brian Mbeumo handling the ball in the build-up. More at talksport.com.
Stuart in Cheshire's been in touch. So Max and Charlie, I'm watching the Villa final at home with my family. My older brother, who's the reason I support them, got me into football. I was born in 82. We were both at the playoff final. What a journey. One more win, says Stuart. Let's cross over to Andy Townsend, former Villa captain. He's out in Istanbul in the rain. He's co-coms tonight. Andy, how are you?
Hello, Andy.
I'm very good, Max. Very good, Charlie. Thank you. Yes, it is belting down with rain here in Istanbul. Proper brummy weather. Let's hope that's a good sign.
Yeah, I look, Villa fans out in force. I'm sure it'd be nice if it was a beautiful sunny day, but the rain won't deter them, will it?
No, not at all. There's so many Villa fans here, Max. I mean, we've, literally we're not that far from the stadium where we're staying, and it is, a sea of claret and blue pretty much everywhere. I popped down to the fan park just about an hour ago, and there's plenty there. They're getting very wet, but they're in great spirits, as you can well imagine. Everyone is really excited about what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, they're calling it Aston Bull on online at the moment. Unai Emery's brilliant at this tournament, isn't he, Andy? Any chance they could underestimate Freiburg tonight?
Well, look, I mean, again, we don't know an awful lot about them, Charlie. There's very few matches in a European final have I ever observed, and I don't really know that much about the opposition team, but I'm afraid this is such a case. Look, they can't be mugs, of course. They're in a European final. They've got to be a team that you respect. One thing's for sure, Unai Emery and the players will have done plenty of homework on them. They will have analysed them, will have studied them, know that they're going to be capable if given the opportunity. I just think if Villa play like they can, like they did against Forest back at Villa Park, like they did second half on Friday against Liverpool, I think that Villa team is going to be too hot for most teams, and I put Freiburg in that bracket. So I've got my fingers crossed that they'll get it done tonight.
Yeah, it's a lovely spot for a mini break, Freiburg, if you're passing. But I think you make a good point, Andy. Is that I think a lot of us are underestimating Freiburg, but Unai Emery won't, because he's such a his attention to detail is that's why he's so good, right? And he's got such a good record in this competition. Is one question for Villa, who plays in. Do they have one issue in central midfield today with injuries and Ross Barkley not in the Europa League squad?
Yeah, I mean, Amadou Onana has had problems and has missed a few. Victor Lindelof went in there and deputised very capably, and so that is maybe a decision that the manager will make maybe right at the last minute, but. That aside, I think and whoever plays, to be honest with you, Max, whichever option he decides to go with in there, again, I think that particular individual, whoever it may be, will be absolutely up to speed. No risks. You don't go into finals. I think when you've got good players in your squad, you don't go into finals with too many question marks hanging over players. So if there is a question mark over Onana, then it will be Lindelof or another that will start in there.
Do you think this is a potential ceiling for Villa, Andy, or do you think this is as another point for them to hit that they can really try and get to the very top?
No, it's a good point, Charlie. I think they're a very, very dangerous team, Villa. I think they're the one team in the Premier League that can give the absolute very best a serious run for their money when they're playing well.
Yeah.
I think, and the very best at the moment is the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City. I think, but I honestly feel when Villa are at full tilt, full strength. And they're in a good moment. I think they're a really, really good side, and I don't believe this is the ceiling. I think they'll be in the Champions League next year. We saw what they did last time in the Champions League. If they get this one tonight and they get that trophy under their belts, I think they march into next season really confident and will attack that European competition as well, and hopefully maintain the consistency that they've shown in the Premier League, because there's no reason why they shouldn't. I'm sure there will be one or two that are going to come and go. That's what happens in football. But Villa, I think, are a team that want to dine consistently now at the top table, and I think they're ready to do it.
No, I mean, we've been talking about Arsenal in 22 years since we last won the league. 30 years since Villa last won a trophy, and you were captaining them that day, Andy, against Leeds United. What a team. My mate Bozza in there, Gareth Southgate, Paul McGrath, blimey, Dwight York up front. I mean, obviously, when you win that, you don't think it's going to be 30 years until Villa win another one. But, what would it mean to those fans?
Oh, look, again, if you've only got to be around Istanbul at the moment, Max, to see what it means. Everybody believes that this is the moment for this current team that they're going to get the job done. It's been a long wait. There have been one or two moments along the way, a couple of FA Cup finals that got away from them, but I don't think those teams were ready perhaps to actually get over the line and win those competitions, whereas this current Villa team is absolutely primed and in the moment to get this done tonight. And as I say, hopefully it can be the start of a few more rolling in over the next few seasons. You can't guarantee that, so I hope the boys can produce a performance. It would be wonderful if it's done in a bit of style. When Villa are rocking and playing well, they're a really good team to watch as well. They play some lovely stuff. So it'd be great if it's like that, but if it has to be the hard way, 1-0, hanging in, grinding it out, then so be it. However, just get it done.
Get it done. Thanks, Andy. Enjoy the game.
Andy.
Thanks, Max. Charlie, cheers, guys.
Andy Townsend there. Co-coms tonight. I mean, I fancy them, but like Andy says, I know that Freiburg are better than everyone is painting them out to be. But, Villa turn out and Villa play well. And, John McGinn's playing so well at the moment. And
Scotland fans watching John McGinn through their fingers going, please please don't limp off this game, whatever happens.
Can I read this? I'll read this text. 22 years later, I finally get it. I'm 40 now. The last time Arsenal won the league, I was 18. I was based in Germany, the army. I caught the final whistle on a small TV in the barracks, cheap lager in my hand, watching it like it was just another game. We'd done it again. At 18, you don't know how good you've got it. I mean, how true for whole life.
For most things. For most things.
The Invincibles era wasn't a once-in-a-lifetime moment to me. It was just Arsenal being Arsenal. We'd won 98, 02, 04, 3 titles in 7 years. When you're 18, that feels normal. Like the sun coming up. I didn't savour it. I didn't realise I was living through the last truly dominant Arsenal team I'd see for over 2 decades. Then came the drought, the stadium move, the top 4 trophy, the near misses, the memes. Football changed too. In 2004, Match of the Day was it. A 30-minute highlight reel. That was your week. Now it's 24/7 podcast, Twitter meltdown, Sky Sports debates that start at 6 a.m. The noise is constant, and somehow it made every near miss feel louder and every win feel smaller. This year was different. The title was decided 70 miles away in Bournemouth. I watched it on TV with my wife while the kids were tucked up in bed, blissfully unaware. She sat through it with a bemused look while I sat frozen at the final whistle. No Emirates roar, no North London crowd, just Bournemouth holding City in 22 years of waiting, ending on my screen. At 40, you understand time. You understand that nothing is guaranteed and that glory isn't a conveyor belt. The coverage hasn't slowed down. If anything, it's faster, more overwhelming, but I muted it for a day. No hot takes, no analysis, just that result and the sudden, stupid realization it was actually happening. I finally appreciated it. For the kid who took it for granted at 18, the man who waited 22 years to feel it again, this one's for both of us.
Lovely stuff.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
A perfect articulation of modern football, I think, there. We need on the importance of modern football, we need a caller for the Wheel of Football.
Oh, yeah.
If you would like to take on Ben, the West Brom fan, who is very good at this, all you need to do to play is be able to think of 5 footballers.
Yeah.
We will do the rest with your help. 03717 223344. If you would like to take part in the quiz that is sweeping the nation, the Wheel of Football, 03717 223344 to take on reigning champion Ben, the West Brom fan. We will do that after 2. Sean Wright Phillips will join us. We'll do a bit of Man City and Pep. I don't know if he's bored about talking about his dad. I'm never bored about talking about Ian Wright, but like, he was there front and centre in the celebration, lovely. So we should probably touch on it. We'll do that with Sean in just a second.
I mean, he's been given 7 years. And of course, during that 7 years, what he's done is incremental progress. There's a little bit of flatlining. I mean, I wrote an article in 2023 saying that they had to spend £250 million to stand still after that first season where they finished second and they blew it themselves. And they did spend £250 million to stand still because they finished second each season. But you've seen the evolution of his thinking. You've seen the evolution of the manner in which it interacts with the media. You've seen the style of play change. Yeah. You've also seen them become more competitive in Europe at the same time, because people turn around and say you can't have both. If you're going to do well in the league, you might find yourself being compromised in the Champions League, but they've gone deeper in the Champions League than perhaps some of their predecessors, notably Arsene Wenger, did for significant periods of his time during his tenure. So he's won on most fronts. So you have to give him all of the plaudits that this achievement deserves, because the end has justified the means.
What was the defining moment, Danny? Did the signing of Declan Rice appear on that particular list, if you're looking at what really clinched it?
Well, he's been a big factor, but he's been there a little while where they haven't got over the line. So I actually thought this season, the defeat at Arsenal kind of Man City set them free a little bit, because then they became the chaser and it was a bit like, oh, nothing to lose, let's go. And they went again. Although they weren't brilliant, it still gave them a new focus and a new impetus.
Well, some thought they'd bottle it after that.
They did, because they've done it before. But I think Arteta deserves... When you look at the numbers, which I was looking at last night for the last 4 seasons, the 3 seconds and then the win, this is their most pragmatic season. They've been more... they've scored more goals in previous seasons. They've been more expansive, let's say, better to watch. And he made a conscious choice this season of becoming even more resilient and more difficult to play against.
Yeah.
And that is a brave decision, side, because if it didn't go well,
it can be castigated.
Yeah.
I mean, success in football has an irony, because it's often an orphan. It's attributed to one person, and failure has many fathers. In this instance, success has many fathers, because I think you can take it back to the decision to break up the dressing room, to get rid of Aubameyang, and to be supported in doing that. For Kroenke to have the penny drop and bring his son into it, so there's day-to-day interaction between the ownership model and their change of direction from being people that were prepared to invest very little to people that are prepared to give the first-team manager the tools to go up against the opposition. So I think all of these things on the way bring out this end result.
Not wig. It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark!
Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
I'm
loyal.
Don't tell me.
Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
football roundup on talkSPORT with Snickers. Game on, hunger off. It's a sign for Snickers.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of lovely texts we've got, Charlie.
Yeah, people aren't people
on
nice.
How beautiful football
Football's
is.
great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really good.
And really moving ones as well. Jordan says, I watched Plymouth get promoted to the Championship on FaceTime with my dad. He's in Cornwall. I'm in Western Australia. He passed away 6 months later, which in some ways was a blessing. As watching us get relegated on FaceTime wouldn't have been quite the same.
No.
He says, keep those coming, please. 8:89. Now we can look back at last night's football action with Snickers. Oh, we played that.
We've played that bit already.
Snickers. I was waiting for Mr. T to say, "Give me your Snickers, you
you're
crazy
nothing
fool."
without
Anyway,
a Snickers or something.
We're going to do it.
Don't get your Snickers in a twist. Something
a man
like that.
who's bankrolled by Snickers is former City and England winger Sean Wright Phillips. Hey, Sean.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, everybody. You all right?
Yeah. Can you come and pick your
good,
dad up,
thanks.
please, Sean?
Pardon?
Come and pick your dad up.
Nah, you don't need picking up. He's all the way up at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if you're bored about talking about. I'm never bored about talking about dad. I love your dad. I love my dad, but I wouldn't mind if Ian Wright was my dad. But like, he was front and center of those celebrations last night, wasn't he?
Honestly, he's been waiting for it for a long time. Me as a son, I thought I'd text him, be the honourable son, and say congratulations, Dad. You deserved it. Look at him. Yeah. He don't even drink that stuff. So I text him just to say, like, congratulations, well done. I thought Arsenal over the course of the season deserved to win the title.
Yeah.
And I said to him, now can you lot please go on and bring the Champions League back as well? And he said, thanks, son, I love you. And then I texted him this morning. I said to him, all right, Dad, so can we meet next week for lunch? He said, I don't know. I'll have to find out who knows what I'm doing next week. And then he went on to say, who's Dad anyway? I'm called Champ from now on. The banter's already started.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm really like, we just had Perry Groves and Harry Simeon, Arsenal fan and broadcaster, and I was like feeling good for Arsenal. And then they were so smug about it, Sean, that I'm a bit like, I might have changed my opinion.
Who do you support, Sean? Who do you support?
Do you know what? I've always supported City. When I signed there when I was 15 years old, I just kind of fell in love with the club from then.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Because it's good for parents. Like, I've never been able to get my son to support Torquay United. My team just doesn't want to. I don't have no idea why. But, you know, and parents always go, no, you have to force them. But, you know, your dad's Ian Wright and you don't support Arsenal. So, you know.
Yeah, but then if anything, I should support Crystal Palace.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good point. It's a good point. So, look, let's talk about City then. Look, I mean, they've won 2 trophies, right? They've come very close to a treble. That isn't a bad. It doesn't feel great today, but that isn't a bad season, is it?
In all honesty, it feels great to me. I don't know when the double was looked upon in that way, like it isn't enough. I think winning 1 trophy is hard enough, let alone winning 2. Everybody at the beginning of the season would have said, this is City's rebuilding year. No one expected them to be where they are. For whatever reason, everything that Pep done worked. The players that he bought fit in straight away. And I think Arsenal just kept leaving the door open. And in many ways, until the last part, City kept walking through that door and the gap got closer and closer. So overall, I think it was quite a successful season for City.
Yeah. Look, Pep, by all accounts, is off. They haven't said he is, but like everyone seems to know he is. It's very hard to know what else to say about Pep, Sean. He's really good. He's been really good.
He's been really good. If he is to leave, I think not only Man City fans will be in many ways devastated at that fact. I think because the legacy he's left on the Premier League and even to the points of grassroots football across England has been nothing short of outstanding. The way he's changed a lot of people's mind on the way the game can be played and given people loads of new tactics. If you watch all the new managers that are coming through, they want to say that there's a similarity, but with their own version of it. And it's just changed the way football's played altogether.
Yeah, you know what, everybody plays out from the back. Every single person. I played a game on Saturday, Charlie? And we played out from the back. And I play 1 game a year.
I was about to say that. My Sunday team, I'm like, look, goal kicks, go long, first 20, right? And then like this 60-year-old plays it to a 55-year-old at right back. You're like, what the hell are you doing? We're all jogging up, facing the wrong way. It's Pep's fault, isn't it? Look, Maresca is a good manager. It'll be really fascinating to see one in next year.
If that is the case, I don't honestly know. I wish I did know, because since it came out at while the Arsenal game was aired, I've had nothing but texts, people asking me what's going on, is it true? And I said, why do you think I would actually know that? Like, I'm in, but I'm not that in. So I honestly don't know.
I want to ask you about Max Dowman, actually. I mean, I know he's an Arsenal player, but I'm assuming has he had enough appearances for a medal?
Yeah. I saw a text going, the tweet saying, I think it was Duncan Alexander saying, the first footballer to win the Premier League since ITV got rid of teletext, just for just to age him.
Okay, and to do it before he's got his GCSE results as well, which is quite amazing. How does he kick on from here, Sean? How does he have the guidance to have a long, successful career in football rather than just be, not a flash in the pan, but for it to peak now?
First of all, I have to say, I think he's a massive talent. I think what I've seen him do, and what I've seen him do across both age groups, or any age group he seems to play in, he seems to have a massive impact and influence on the game, especially in that attacking third. And not to shy away from he's not only good at attacking, you see him doing the dirty, hard yards as well, which not a lot of wingers with that ability like to actually do.
Yeah.
But he seems like he's enjoying his football. And it's really a hard one, because in England, we like to try and protect our young players. Whereas if you look at like maybe in your Spains, if you're 16 and you're good enough, in many ways the age is kind of irrelevant. And he's in that situation now where I feel like he's raring to go. And I feel at the same time, you have to protect him a little bit, but for him to progress at the pace he already has and continue on that trajectory, I feel like he needs to play more games. He needs to feel more a part of that team in terms of winning games. But it's a hard one, because he's behind Saka, who's an unbelievable player as well. So, and if you say he's number 10, then you've got Eze and Odegaard in there. So it's trying to find the right time and to play him in where the pressure is always going to be high, because he's at Arsenal. Everybody knows about Arsenal, but where do you actually fit him in? I would love to watch him play. I keep saying to people, I think for me, watching the way he plays and the way he dribbles and the way he creates opportunities for others and as well as himself, he's, I think, the closest thing that we'll see to Gareth Bale.
Wow, okay. It's interesting though, isn't it, when they say he plays with no fear. Kids play with no fear. If I was 15 in front of that many people, I'd be absolutely bricking it. Every single one, I'd be absolutely terrified of the whole thing. Thanks for coming on, Sean. Appreciate your time. Good man.
No problem.
Sean Wright Phillips there. Look, we know Arsenal are the Premier League champions. If you want to hear more from the fallout, former Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clark was alongside Angelina Kelly. The latest talkSPORT daily podcast episodes available now on all of your favourite podcast platforms. That was a look at last night's Premier League action with Snickers.
Weekend football roundup on talkSPORT with Snickers. Game on, hunger off. It's a sign for Snickers.
He's going to make the change.
Oh my God, Mwani's one of the worst players I've ever seen. He's give the ball straight to Cole Palmer. We're going to go 2-0 down. I'm telling you, we're going to go 2-0 down. I told you! I'm the Chills! You can see it! Can you believe it? You can see it happening! You can see it happening! I'm the Chills! I'm the Superids! I'm the Chills! 2-0 Super Blues! It's a joke! Get in! It's a joke! You can see it a mile off! You could see it a mile off. I could see you. I told you we'd go 2-0 down. I told you we would make a mistake. Mawani, get out of our club. Mawani, get out of our club.
Of the Chelsea! Of the Chelsea! 2-0. Ball's given away. Cole Palmer. Who gives that? Was it Mawani? Ball goes over
Mawani's
the right
giving
side.
straight to Cole Palmer.
Ball comes in.
Honestly. This team is absolutely garbage. This team is so bad. This team is so bad. It's unbelievable. It is so bad. I said to you, as soon as them subs, I said to you, Jace, as soon as them subs started to get their shirts off, I said, we'll go 2-0 down. Pointless. De Zerbi, you should have made the change 10 minutes ago. Mawani's one of the worst footballers I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt. Get him out of our club. Honest to God. Look, they're standing on the side of the pitch waiting to come on. I said it. We'll go 2-0 down. What happens? 2-0. We are a disgrace. We're a disgrace of a football club. We deserve to be in the Championship. Honestly, mate. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this in my life. This team is absolute guff. Guff. They are guff all over the park. Guff. It is disgusting how bad this team is. It's disgusting. Disgusting.
Up Chelsea.
I cannot believe this team I'm watching. I cannot believe this team. How do I support this team? They are terrible.
Afternoon all, Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you until 4. Southampton just released a statement. We'll get to Alex Crook in just a second. Before that, Tom Clayton has the sport.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Max, thank you. Good afternoon. Southampton have apologised to fans and admitted what happened with Spygate was wrong. They've also apologised to the other clubs involved in that statement just released a few moments ago. Phil Parsons, the club's chief executive, says that they agree there should be a sanction, but believe the sanction imposed is disproportionate. Southampton are appealing. That will be heard today. talkSPORT's Danny Murphy thinks it's all been a bit overblown.
The impact of the crime in everyday life is so crucial in the punishment. The impact of the crime you commit in every other aspect of criminality, or I know this isn't criminality, but they're breaking laws, the impact is minimal.
Now, does this Arsenal team eclipse the Invincibles if they add a Champions League title to their Premier League crown? Martin Keown says yes. Simon Jordan says no.
Our eyes don't betray us. With due respect, we look at the history books. If Arsenal go and win the Champions League, in the history books, this will be the greatest Arsenal team. But our eyes don't betray us. We all know that what we saw in 2003, 2004, an Invincible team, is probably a better team than this.
Keown's especially happy that they won it with Pep Guardiola still in the dugout at Man City.
Because the way the media works, the narrative becomes, well, you know, you only won it when Pep wasn't here. So that one's gone. That can't happen.
Arsenal's win means City have missed out on the title for 2 years in a row for the first time under Pep. The trophy parade set for Sunday the 31st of May at 2 p.m. The Champions League final is the night before that, live on talkSPORT. Now, Michael Salisbury won't ref a game this weekend after giving the Matheus Cunha goal on Sunday. It was allowed despite Brian Mbeumo handling the ball in the build-up. Former England manager Steve McLaren will find himself in League Two next season. He's today been confirmed as new head of football at Rotherham United. And Unai Emery goes for a fifth Europa League win tonight as Villa face Freiburg in Istanbul here at Live on talkSPORT from 7.
talkSPORT News.
Planned increases to fuel taxes have been scrapped, and Channel 4 boss says she's deeply sorry over claims of rape on Married at First Sight UK. More with Sinead at 8:30.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Spring forwards with Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Brighter spells developing throughout the afternoon, especially in the south, starting to feel warmer too. The odd shower over Western Hills and in northern Scotland.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Tool Station. Only got time for one stop. First stop, Tool Station. Before we play, why are you laughing?
That's a good one. That's a new one, isn't it? I hadn't heard
good,
that.
Short, sharp, good one.
I liked it. I didn't know if you'd come up with it yourself.
I didn't come up with it myself. I mean, it depends what you need. If you need tools, great. If you need a Wii, I might go to a... Anyway, big Southampton released a statement after being kicked out of the playoffs. Our football correspondent is Alex Crook. He's pulled over on the motorway. Crookie, don't read it all out because we'll be here all night. But he's not there. Crookie's gone. Look, I can paraphrase. They basically said, yes, their chief executive has made a statement saying, it's Phil Parsons, chief executive of Southampton Football Club, basically saying they're appealing because they think it's disproportionate, right? They hold their hands up. They say what happened was wrong. The club's admitted the breaches, but they think it's completely disproportionate. And we'll get into it. And actually, some of the arguments they make do make some sense. I'm slightly torn.
What a mess.
But it is a total mess, isn't it? Especially with the idea that their players might sue them for potential loss of earnings because they didn't know what was happening. You put in the group that amazing tweet from Flynn Downs. It was an interview. Flynn Downs said, this is earlier in the season, his attention to detail is unreal. I don't know if this is real. I presume this is real. He told the BBC, every little thing he just gives you, it makes it so easy. You go out on a Saturday, you know what you're doing, you know what the other team are doing.
Oh, no.
That's right.
No.
Anyway, I hope that is a legitimate quote. Anyway, more importantly, let's play the Wheel of Football.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie, what are you waving at?
I don't have any of the categories. I have not been given the pocket of categories. In they come. In the Wheel of Football. Off you go, Max.
Here comes Welcome the Pockets. Good afternoon, everybody. It's time for the Wheel of Football. And here's your host, Max Rushden and Charlie Baker. Welcome, Charlie.
Hello. Good afternoon. I have a pocket of categories.
Let's bring in our reigning champion, Ben, the West Brom fan. Hey, Ben, how are you?
Good afternoon, gents. I'm very well, thank you. How are yourselves?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Okay, good stuff. And you're up against Spencer, the Man United fan today. Hey, Spencer.
Hello, Charlie. Hello, Max. And hello, Ben.
Oh.
Hello there. How are you?
Some confidence.
Look at this. A friendly game.
That's
I like
nice.
this.
I like it.
This is what we want.
Less division.
Now, Spencer, have you heard the Wheel of Football? Do you know what you're getting yourself in for today?
No, I don't. So you can fill me in. I'm sure I'll pick it up.
Oh, yeah. It isn't complicated. You just... Do you have 5 footballers? Can you think of 5 footballers? You don't have to name them all.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Okay, well, look, Ben, let's kick it off. The way it works, Charlie, explain how it works.
I have a pocket full of categories, and both our players, Spencer and Ben, they say the name of a footballer, any footballer in history, and then we pull out something from the pocket of categories. For instance, his biggest head has just come out.
Right, okay.
So we then discuss who we feel of the 2 footballers has the biggest head. Whoever has the biggest head gets the point. Max is the final ombudsman if it needs to go that far.
Right, I understand. A bit sad you drew that out.
Best of 5. I'm a bit sad about that, if I'm honest. But there we are. I'll put it back in.
Okay. Ben, give us a footballer. Let's play.
I'd love to start with Torquay United legend Lee Sharp, please.
Lee Sharp, signed at 16. £385,000 to Man United.
Spencer, the Man United fan, who are you putting up against Lee Sharp?
I'm going to put up Tony Kraus, the man who scored the fastest own goal ever for Torquay United in 1972.
Oh, there we are. It's Pat Kraus. Pat Krause, actually. Pat Krause. Yeah, there we are.
Pat Krause.
Is it 2 Torquay fans on today, or have they been looking into it? Okay.
Pat Krause versus
I'm
Lee
rummaging
Sharp.
in my pocket. My hand is in my pocket, and it's rummaging around, and I'm pulling something out, and it is nicest.
Okay, nicest. Ben.
Well, Lee is known for his niceness, and fun fact, he actually owns a bar out in Spain, and part of that, obviously, is hospitality, so it's got to be right at the front of his personal attributes.
I have to say, I did meet Lee Sharp at Cheltenham, and he was very nice. So
I met Lee Sharp, he was nice, yeah. Have you got anything, Spencer, or Pat Krause?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, he's that nice. He scored an own goal after 6 seconds.
He did. 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
6 second own goal.
Spencer takes the lead. Short, sharp answer. Good. Give us a footballer, Spencer. Give us another player.
Peter and Love.
Peter and Love.
Peter and Love.
Lovely.
Oh, he's been on before.
Is
It's
he?
exciting.
Right,
Okay, Ben.
I'll play Trevor Sinclair, please.
Okay.
Trevor Sinclair versus Peter and Love.
Okay, here we go.
Two tricky wingers. This
My
is
hand
good.
is rummaging in my pocket, and here it comes. It
Okay.
says, most likely to help load the dishwasher.
Okay.
I think Peter.
Spencer.
Right, well, obviously being from Zimbabwe, he's going to have a good family ethic, so I'd say he's pretty good at loading a dishwasher.
Okay.
Good. I like
Good
these
answer.
answers.
Good answer, Spencer. I think you're up against it here, Ben.
Yeah, but I mean, I've played Trevor Sinclair, haven't I? So that's going to be a very difficult one to beat. Trevor's actually been known for bicycle kicking, loading the dishwasher at times, actually.
Wow. Tupperware in the top rack.
Kick than Trevor Sinclair's, well, I'm going to call you a liar.
Not
2-0 to Spencer.
Oh,
Here we go.
Spencer, 2-0
And of course,
up. What
it's
a
2-0
player.
to Spencer. Here we go. Spencer, Ben, give us a footballer.
I'll play Reggie Blinker, please.
Reggie Blinker. Great shout. Okay, Spencer.
I love Reggie Blinker, but I'm going to go Andre Kanchelskis.
Oh, lovely
Okay,
stuff.
Blinker versus Kanchelskis.
Blinker v. Kanchelskis.
Here we go. What's
Hand
the
in
category?
pocket. Here it comes. It is best cook. We've had it before. Best cook.
Best cook. Spencer.
Beth Cook, she sounds like she can cook, and her name's Beth.
Okay.
Okay, not
Ben?
sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can compete with that one, but Reggie is known for cooking regular dishes from his homeland. So, yeah, I think
Sure.
better than naming somebody called Beth Cook.
Okay.
Do you know what, Charlie? Listen. Do you know what, gentlemen? Spencer's 2-1 up. We carry on playing this game this time next week.
Yep, good luck.
Because
See you next
management
week.
have told us that the Southampton statement is more important. Thank you, gentlemen. Our
Brilliant,
football
well played. See you
correspondent,
next
Alex
week.
Crook, see you next week. It's 2-1. God, the tension is
Two
huge,
legs.
isn't it? They say the football season ends, but it doesn't because the wheel of football carries on. Crookie joins us. Hey, pal, how
Hello,
are you?
Crookie.
I'm good. I've got to say, Andre Kanchelskis, one of my favourite players as a kid, so I'd have given it that way.
All right, okay.
Well,
there we
okay.
are. Best cook.
Listen, the statement from Southampton is long. Paraphrase it if you would, Crookie.
Well, I think the first point to reference is this is the first time that Southampton have actually come out and publicly apologised for the Spygate scandal. The chief executive, Phil Parsons, has put his name to this statement. He's apologised not only to Southampton supporters, but to the clubs affected, because, of course, it's not just Middlesbrough. They also admitted to spying on Oxford and Ipswich earlier in the season. But the key to it really is that while they acknowledge that they have done wrong, Southampton, they've breached EFL regulations, they clearly don't feel the punishment befits the crime. Phil Parsons in this statement says what we cannot accept is a sanction which bears no proportion to the offence. He points to Leeds United under Bielsa being fined £200,000 for a similar offence, and says Southampton have been denied the opportunity to compete in a game, the playoff final, of course, worth 200 million, and one which means so much to our staff, players and supporters. He says we believe the financial consequences of yesterday's ruling make it by a very considerable distance the largest penalty ever imposed on an English football club. Luton Town's 30-point deduction in 2008-2009 to date is the biggest sporting sanction that was levied against a club already in League Two, with no comparison at stake. Derby's 21-point deduction in 2021, he points to that as costing championship status. He mentions Everton, following losses of £124.5 million. They were deducted points, but of course didn't lose their place in the Premier League. And then says the largest financial penalty ever levied by the Premier League was against Chelsea in March of this year. That was £10.75 million and was accompanied by no sporting sanction, despite involving £47.5 million in undisclosed payments over 7 years. So I think what we can take from this statement is this is going to be Southampton's grounds for appeal. We know the appeal hearing in front of a separate, more experienced, I'm told, panel will take place at 6 o'clock this evening. So we could find out if he's been successful or not tonight or early tomorrow morning. But at the moment, everybody's in limbo. And I feel particularly, actually, for the fans and players at Hull City who've spent, a week and a half preparing to face one opponent. And now they've got 2 days, because they're not training today, as I understand it, to potentially prepare for a separate one. And that doesn't really sit right with me.
No.
Yeah, well, look, they're in a tricky position. Middlesbrough are in a weird position. The Southampton players are in a weird position. And like the statement, I can see them winning this appeal, right? We have no idea how it's going to go, because there is some validity to that, but it's also tricky because they also haven't won the final. So like they might have no financial, like it might not be a financial punishment. And it's like, if they have cheated, so what is the punishment? I'm just glad I'm not somebody who's qualified enough to be on one of these panels, Crookie, because it's really hard to make this first call and it's hard to make this call in the appeal.
Yeah, it's a nightmare scenario. But I think what we have to remember, and this is why I'm surprised it's taken Southampton so long to actually come out and publicly say sorry, they're to blame. They're the ones who've done this.
Sure.
And I think up until this point, they've adopted a little bit of a victim culture.
Yeah, that being so, that doesn't change the grounds that they're appealing on. Do you see what I mean? Like I don't disagree with you. If they said after minute 1, yeah, we did this, they'd still probably they could be facing the same punishment. They could have the same reasons to appeal. Right? I don't disagree with what
it does
you're saying.
feel a little bit like we're sorry because we got caught, rather than we're sorry. It does feel a little bit like that. If they have been doing it, what was the change in the rules after the Leeds United, Bielsa and Derby County? Can you remember, Alex? They made them a lot stronger, didn't they?
They made it. Carry on, Crookie.
They made it a breach of the rules to observe an opponent's training session 72 hours or fewer before a game. So it's there in black and white. I think part of Southampton's defence is that Ton de Recker, the manager, has come from Germany, where it isn't illegal to go and observe opponents' training sessions. I don't see that as much of a defence, really. There should be enough people at that football club when they first started doing this, and they've admitted to doing it as far back as December, who should have pointed out, do you know what, we can't do that in this country. It's in the rules. We could get in trouble for this.
Yeah. Thanks, Crookie. Appreciate your time.
Crookie.
Cheers, guys.
So that appeared at 6 o'clock tonight. As soon as we find out on talkSPORT, we will tell you. I do feel for the intern.
I feel for the intern. I hope he's all right. I feel for the fans as well. I do feel for the fans. They're the proper victims in this, that they don't get to see their team go to Wembley and try and win promotion. Which is what. And also it puts them back again for next season. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? All those things.
Yeah, but just on the intern, he's a young guy trying to get into football. It's very hard to get in. You could easily say, well, it's wrong. But if somebody, whoever it is up the chain, tells you to do this and you're getting paid nothing and you're like, you just want to make a good impression, you will do it. Even if you so I hope he is okay and this doesn't follow him around for his entire, football career, whatever he chooses to do. But I definitely have sympathy for him. Paul Hawksby, I don't know if you're aware of him, is a Spurs fan and broadcaster, and he will join us next after they meant there will be something to play for on the last day of the season in the Premier League.
Chicky, can you hear me, Chicky? You almost took one hell of a beating. Can you hear me, Roberto Dispersi? You almost took one hell of a beating. Roberto Dispersi, you almost took one hell of a big cockerel. Ron Weasley, Beavertown Brewery, can you hear me? Jay Mahara, can you hear me, Jay Mahara? You almost took one hell of a beating. Can you hear me? Encourage inside. sign. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. You're Mr. One hell of a beating the SA signing. When the ball gets white signing. Adele, Lord Sugar, Tadarius the Pooh. Can you hear me, Tadarius the Pooh? You're Mr. One hell of a beating. Tadarius the Pooh. Tadarius the Pooh. Tadarius the Pooh. Can you hear me, Tadarius the Pooh? You're Mr. One hell of a beating.
I can't believe you just pulled out them two masks. I cannot believe what I've just seen. And we get beat 2-1 at the bridge again, mate.
O'Hara.
Oh, mate.
O'Hara's got an imps mask. He's got his,
I can't believe you've got an O'Hara mask. Where have you're sneaky, you lot. Yous are so bad. Honestly, yous are horrible. I don't know why I work here. I don't know why I work here. This is unbelievable stuff. All the stuff I do for this station, and that's how I get treated.
What do you mean?
You go and order an O'Hara mask and wear it on the night that Spurs get beat against Chelsea.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking
mate,
about.
take the mask off. Please, take the mask off, mate. I can't.
Jay?
Oh,
Jay.
what a bad night, mate. What a
Mate,
bad
listen,
night.
you drew the second half, mate.
Oh, mate, don't start. Don't start.
I mean,
I knew it was going to be bad.
Listen, I don't know why you fall out at me over this. You drew the second half. And to be fair, I like the way that you kept booting the ball out of play just to keep the score down. Because goal difference might come into it, mate. You never know.
Not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk!
Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air.
Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
Go.
I'm loyal.
Don't tell Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
Good afternoon. Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you on talkSPORT. Matthew says, new category for the Wheel of Football, most likely to volley a ladybird.
Oh, good one. Someone write that down. I'll write that down.
Mark, the Wolves fan, says it took some years, this is regards us being told, to stop the Wheel of Fortune mid-game because of the Southampton statement. It took some years, but finally the gaffers have told you two to stop prattling around on the radio, says Mark, the Wolves fan. Anyway, relegation is still not decided after Tottenham lost 2-1 to Chelsea last night. You may be aware of Paul Hawksby and some of his work. And he joins us now. Hey, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Hi, Max. Hi, Charlie. I was thinking of the final whistle last night. At least I haven't got to go on the radio tomorrow and talk about it. Thanks, fellas.
Right. We have had messages saying, I see Paul didn't turn up today. Look, the Wednesday thing has been quite long term, but it wasn't a good day. Not a good night to be a Tottenham fan, if we're being honest, Paul, was it?
No, it wasn't. I mean, well done to Arsenal. Fair play to them. You know, they should be a blueprint for Tottenham going forward. You know, spending money in the right way, building something, everything that our ownership don't do, unfortunately. But that is a chat for another day, I guess, once we get through this particular nightmare. Yeah, it wasn't a great night. It wasn't a great performance. And I said the other day, it was very similar to game last week against Leeds. You know, you can't fault the effort. You can't fault the players for putting in a shift, but they're just not good enough. The quality isn't there. But we've got nothing else left. I mean, we have got no option but to get behind the players that are out there and just hope that something can maybe go our way at the weekend, because the signs aren't good, even needing a draw. I think you can see last night how brittle and how fragile the confidence is, and they're kind of playing in a very nervous way. So, it's going to be. I mean, I'm going to be there at the weekend. It's going to be a pretty hellish day, I would think.
Yeah, so hell there and the London Stadium, they're not too far apart. It's just all these fans going through this thing, going through hell, aren't they? I mean, our midfield can't really pass it very well, and our attack can't control it very well, Paul. So just never, the pass is slightly wrong.
It's every time it goes forward, it's like, oh,
it
no.
doesn't stick. It doesn't stick.
Not that
Paul.
ball.
It never sticks.
Well, the quality of the ball often isn't quite there, and again, I think they're not going for the Hollywood pass because they've got no expectation that the forward players are going to make those runs. Even if they put in good crosses, which is rare, you know, the cannon's off of someone's head, or it goes into Rowe's head, or the cross goes straight to the goalkeeper.
Or it's like a sort of patter cake powder puff shot, isn't it? It's always a little bit too soft.
I don't know if that's... I mean, as I said, De Zerbi must have come in, when he looked at the job, he must have thought, OK, yeah, we've got France international, 2 French internationals, Brazil international, England international, Portugal international. And he must have thought, yeah, I'll whip this lot into shape. But I think he is now realising, barring a couple of half-decent results, that you know, the quality of them as a unit just isn't there. And I just don't know. I mean, if Tottenham are going to get a draw at the weekend, it's going to have to be 0-0 or 1-1, because they don't look capable of scoring 2 goals. I know they did against Villa, but we know the backdrop to the Villa game, and I think maybe it was a bit of a false flag, really, because they were abject that day. But I don't know. As I said, all we've got left with now is to get behind the players he puts out there. He's unlikely to change it. We may get 20, 25 minutes out of Maddison, and we look like we have got someone who can pick a pass there. But beyond that, maybe Solanke can have 10, 15 minutes. But we are really clutching at straws.
Conor Gallagher's looking better since he's sort of got fitter, I think, Paul.
Yeah, he is. But again, you know, that quite often the final ball isn't there. A lot of the passing was pretty obvious last night. And I think that all feeds into the nerves. No one's taking any chances. Everybody's scared to play the sort of pass that could open you up. And I think that they made the point in commentary last night with Jamie Carragher that there are no players in the Tottenham team, whatever they are on paper and on top trumps. There was no player last night anywhere near the quality of Palmer or Fernandes. You know, it was so noticeable, wasn't it?
Yeah, and actually, you mentioned Maddison, and he does look like he is a different order of footballer, right? And you know, he's a great guy, and he's a joy to watch. But you wonder, do you start him? Or do you just say, keep it tight, lads, until he comes on? And then there's so much pressure on him, right? He's the only one taking it in tight spaces and then trying to hang on to it. And his criticism is he hangs on to it for too long, trying to pick a perfect pass. But he knows he's the only one that can do it.
I don't think you can start him, Max. He certainly hasn't got 90 minutes in him. You think you might get a half out of him, but then what happens for the next 45 minutes? Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be, you know, half hour as an impact. Look, it's the end of the season. We don't want him breaking down again. He's come through a big injury, but if they can squeeze half an hour and a bit of injury time out of him, I think it will make a massive difference. Maybe it's a matter of keeping it tight until that point. But, I mean, you know, the anxiety is going to be huge amongst the fans and amongst the players. And I'm sure we'll all do our best not to feed off each other, but it is going to be very, very difficult. Everybody, nobody listens to their transistor. Who takes a transistor?
You'll take your radio, won't you, Paul? You'll be there when it's 1-0. 1-0 at Falkirk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do you know
what, Paul,
and then you get the false info, don't you? West Ham have let one on. No, they haven't. Yeah,
you know, that Maddison thing is like it is like, you know, Sunday League where your best player just can't get there until half too.
He's got a christening. He's got a christening.
He's got childcare. He's got childcare. You say, look, just keep it tight. He runs there and he's putting his kit on at the halfway line and he's like, there going, get James on quickly, get him on. Anyway, look, thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
More of you tomorrow, of course. But thanks for coming on just to have 10 minutes of pain for today.
No worries. Yeah, more tomorrow, I'm sure. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Paul Hawksby there. Anyway, I suppose I did say, Charlie, that there was, I think when West Ham lost the last time or the time before, there is a chance that neither of these teams get any more points. And I think Tottenham's best chance
They both lose.
is that West Ham don't beat Leeds. Because Leeds are good, right? Leeds have got, out of the four, they've got the best record at the moment, right? Everton aren't in great form. Tottenham are in terrible form. West Ham, they've hit this brick wall. So the real hope is Leeds. Come on, Leeds.
That's not what West Ham fans are saying, is it? You've got to think of them as well.
But I'm not a West Ham. I'm not thinking of them. I'm thinking of Tottenham.
I thought VAR was going to save Spurs last night. I thought they were going to.
What, with that penalty?
With that penalty, I thought,
I think the ball might have been in play. I don't know. What's weird about that is, why is the law doing the defender a favour? Right? If it wasn't in play, fair enough. But surely the defender is fouling. Cucurella is fouling Van der Ven, right? So don't do him a favour by blowing before.
Exactly. I didn't
just let him foul him and go, well, you're an idiot. You fouled him. Here's a penalty. Tottenham haven't had a penalty all season. So they'd all run away. No, the ball's be still on the spot now, wouldn't it? Oh, I don't want it. I don't want this.
Or
too
still
much riding
rising.
on this. Anyway, Alfie House is from the Southampton Echo and is a podcaster for Total Saints. And
is the only person who said he'd talk to us.
The only Southampton fan who said he wanted to talk about it. So we'll come on in just a second.
I met Arteta for the first time in October in a restaurant randomly. And I said to him, we're going to win the league because you've got the squad now that you've wanted. It's your vision. These are your guys. They played with your values. And I am certain we're going to win the league. And, this is all on Mikel Arteta. I absolutely take my hat off to this guy. He has worked his process, worked his project to now the ultimate fruition. And I think he's been absolutely brilliant. And I was one of the doubters early on. First 2 seasons, we lost 13 league games each season. I was one of those thinking he's too young, it's too early for him, it's too big a job. And then I remember early 2023 doing a whole apology in the Sun to Mikel. And from that moment on, for the next 3.5 years, I've absolutely bought in to what he's doing because I could see what he was doing. And I just think, Mikel Arteta, I want a statue, at least one statue of you. And I want a second statue of that idiotic Manchester City fan who did the bottle stunt because he must be feeling like the biggest mug in Britain right now.
Piers, I've got a question for you, mate. Fantastic Arsenal winning the...
Yeah, I mean, what about a public apology? What about just apologising to me?
Well,
and
before we get, I want to come in here.
What for?
I want to come in here as referee, if I may. As referee, Piers, I think it's only fair. I mean, 2 words I never thought I'd associate with Piers Morgan are humble and pie, right? But we've got that from you this morning with Mikel Arteta. So I think it's only fair. I give the floor to my man on my left-hand side, Gabby.
Arsenal fans, everyone out there supports Arsenal. I apologise for mocking the season. Calling you bottlers. Great team, great fans, great football club. I apologise.
Brilliant. Well done. Piers, I want to ask you, mate, you
where's
touched
that
on it.
utterly useless half-wit O'Hara who must be, I mean, how must he be feeling? Because I kept saying to you guys, I kept saying we were going to win the quadruple, and you didn't really understand what I meant. Arsenal to win the Premier League and Champions League, right? Cristiano Ronaldo to win the Saudi League, which he's about to do, and Tottenham get relegated. It is my dream quadruple.
Following Arsenal's first league title in 22 years, talkSPORT's Danny Murphy says despite the money spent, Mikel Arteta's done brilliantly well to transform Arsenal into the Premier League's best side.
They're brilliant at set plays, which should be applauded, not criticised. Their work ethic, their determination, the manager's ability to make sure that everyone stays on track.
Well, one down, one to go. You can hear the Champions League final live on talkSPORT a week on Saturday, and they have confirmed a trophy parade for Sunday, the 31st of May at 2 p.m. Now, the EFL say the playoff final will kick off at 3:30 on Saturday if it's Hull versus Middlesbrough. But if Southampton are reinstated, the game will begin at 4:30 as originally planned. So is the Football League trying to differentiate themselves from some of the opaque goings-on in the Premier League?
But in the EFL, we're the league of the people. We won't have this. So what we'll do is we'll go to the extreme end of the equation.
Former Palace chairman Simon Jordan thinks Saints being kicked out the playoffs is disproportionate and surprising. Southampton are appealing the decision. And the ref who gave Man United a controversial goal at the weekend has not been given a game this weekend. Michael Salisbury allowed Cunha's goal to stand despite Brian Mbeumo handling the ball in the build-up. More at talksport.com.
Alan, the Leeds fan, writes, I loved how you thanked Paul for coming on his show that you're ruining, Max.
Yes. Thanks. We're just burning your house down. Thanks for coming round.
Jack says it's ridiculous that Southampton can appeal this decision. They've admitted to 3 breaches of spying and been punished within the guidelines set very clearly in the law. Just because they don't like it and it's a high punishment, it's still within the law. It's a disgrace to the league, this ongoing farce. It all stinks. This says, I'm a Pompey fan, and even I think it's harsh banning Southampton from the playoff final. Some things are bigger than football tribalism. I'm all for punishment when it's deserved. It has to fit the offence. This feels too punitive. It's not justice, it's collective punishment. Let's talk to Alfie House, who is from the Total Saints podcast and the Southampton Echo as well. Alfie, this is a mess, isn't it?
What a mess, Alfie.
Yeah, this is a mess, and it's a mess that doesn't seem like it's going to be going away anytime soon. We're going to get the verdict on the appeal this evening or maybe tomorrow morning at the latest, and at that point, at least we'll know what the Championship playoff final is going to be on the weekend, which, unbelievably, we still don't know. But there's still going to be loads of, litigation from this, other clubs having cases and Southampton's players, kicking off about loss of earnings and all sorts. So, yeah, this has gone on for a long time, and it looks like it's going to go on for a bit longer.
Do you think the punishment is fair or not?
I think it's a good question. I think one of your writers in there, one of the readers, said that the rules are very clear and they set out the punishments and things like that. It's been very clear. This is a clear breach of the regulations. Southampton have admitted 3 breaches, but there's nowhere in those rules that say what the punishment should be. And I think that's the mistake the EFL have made here when they wrote these regulations in 5 or 6 years ago. It should have been clear that if this was done ahead of a playoff game, that would result in automatic expulsion. But there's never been a precedent set for that, and it wasn't written into the regulation. So I think that's why why Southampton feel aggrieved. And they've released a statement today through the CEO, Phil Parsons, and he's been open. He has said that, look, we apologise, we deserve to be sanctioned, but he's very, very strongly fighting against this idea of expulsion. And he's named 4 or 5 other clubs, Derby County, Chelsea, Leeds United, Luton Town's in there, and none of these clubs have had punishments proportionate to this one. So I think that's their biggest argument.
Yeah,
I feel sympathy for the fans, but I do wonder if fans turning up dressed in camouflage gear, players celebrating by doing binoculars, that doesn't look like you want to give the club sympathy in this situation, does it?
Yeah, and I think that's why there's been very little sympathy nationwide for the club, and I understand that totally. At the end of the day, the club have cheated on at least 3 occasions. I mean, if you get caught spying 3 times, have you spied only 3 times? Well, that's what the league says at the moment, but there is that question, isn't there? But at the same time, a bit of gallows humour, fans are going to...
No, I get it.
Yeah, they're going to play on it, aren't they, a little bit? But yeah, I think it's a difficult, messy situation.
And if my understanding is right, like the owners didn't know anything about it, right? The players didn't know anything about it. We presume the manager did. But what do you do if you're, beyond the appeal? Let's say they lose the appeal, right? I mean, they must wish they just lost the playoff semi-final. This had probably all just gone away, right? But like, you've got a brilliant manager, right, who has cheated. Like, what do you do? Like, the players are annoyed with him. Do you get rid of him because... the players don't like him, or do you go, listen, we had something really good here. Like, you didn't win any of those games you spied in, unless you spied in other ones that you haven't admitted to. You could just come together and win legally next year and go up illegally next year because what you have is really good.
Yeah, the funny thing is, they obviously beat Arsenal in the FA Cup, and from what I'm told, there's basically no way you could have spied on Arsenal's training ground. It's like a military complex. So clearly, this manager and this group of players had the ability to win big games, and I think that's what makes it even more disappointing they've done it. I mean, one of the games they spied on was bottom of the league Oxford United on Boxing Day, and they still lost. I mean, it's embarrassing. I think in terms of the individuals named, it's probably not for me to comment on right now until we get the written reasons, which will follow the appeals process. But I know the ownership are really angry. I know that the senior staff at the club are really angry. And I think there will be big changes at the club. This will lead to players leaving in the summer. This will lead to a slashing of the budget, ordinary working people, of which there are hundreds propping up this club, now fearing for their future. I think there will be big changes, whether that's the sporting director or the manager. And I think that to rebuild the reputation, it almost has to happen.
Yeah. And then it's tricky as well if they win the appeal, isn't it? I mean, it's that whole situation would be weird, Alfie, if they go to the playoff final.
Well, I feel for Hull City and their fans because this is ridiculous. We're 3 days away from a playoff final and they don't know who they're playing or even what time they're going to be playing at. The EFL have confirmed it's 3:30 kickoff for Middlesbrough or 4:30 kickoff for Southampton. But yeah, if this appeal goes, the way that Southampton wants it to and they're reinstated, at least we know it can't be appealed again and that will be final. We'll get the final that is on the bill. But can you get fans up for this? I mean, of course they will. It's the biggest game in football. But yeah, it just all feels a little bit murky. And then, as I mentioned earlier, what other legal cans of worms get opened from other clubs?
Yeah, the one team they didn't mention is Swindon, isn't it? Swindon. I think they got relegated 3 divisions. I think when they had financial irregularities.
You're right.
And I think it was 2 on appeal. So I mean that's a pretty big problem, isn't it? But
yeah, and also there is a precedent that in cup competitions in this country, if you field an eligible player, even just for a mere administrative error,
kicked out of it,
you do get booted out. And I think that ultimately, when it comes to the playoffs being a separate competition, that's maybe what has ruled against Southampton here. But with the amounts of money on the line, they will remain quite firm and quite strong that this is a disproportionate punishment. And, it'll be an all-new appeal panel, one senior judge that will overlook this. And they'll make a decision tonight, and there's nothing more that can be said about it.
Yeah. God, I'm glad I'm not that judge. Thank you, Alfie.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Alfie.
you coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Alfie House there from the Total Saints podcast and the Southampton Echo as well. So, yeah, that appeal, I think, is at 6 o'clock. I don't know if that's when they're sitting down to start the appeal or when the result of the appeal will be.
I think they've appealed because you sort of have to appeal. I think if you suck it up, I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they'll win that appeal.
I don't know, Charlie. I don't know. I think, because they don't. The way football fans look at this is you cheat, you get punished, X. The way legal minds look at things is legally, right? And
I'll find the loophole. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily find the loophole, because they're not defending Southampton. They're going in objectively, but what they're going to do is go, well, is this proportionate? And it's very hard to say when the precedent is Leeds got that fine and the other, the other punishments are different because they're a different crime. Yeah, just, Gary said, let Graham the Judge Courtney do it, but mate, this might even be
the judge
too much.
Guilty.
But here comes the judge.
He'd send them down.
Yes, God, that's a tough old meeting, isn't it? Anyway, Ian Stone, comedian, Arsenal fan. We always get him on when Arsenal have had a bad time. So he deserves the right to come on for 10 minutes and just be happy about life, and we'll do that next.
Is this the most significant departure, you think, managerial departure in Premier League history? I mean, there are a few big
No,
ones.
not really. No? I think it's the most significant departure for Manchester City. But I think in all the clubs, I think the Klopp impact upon Liverpool was remarkable in terms of galvanising the club back to its fans, back to the levels of achievement, to a brand of football that ignited and excited most people. And Klopp walked out and decided that he'd had enough and left Arne Slot with a wonderful squad that are able to win the Premier League next year, or the following year, sorry. You've seen Ferguson leave, after 26 years. I don't think his legacy, I think his achievements are remarkable, but I think the squad that he left, it does not compare to the squad that Klopp left Liverpool, and does not compare to the squad that Guardiola is leaving Maresca. And Maresca is indeed a lucky boy. He wouldn't be in this job if he hadn't been in the building previously. I think probably all the lessons that he will have learnt at Chelsea will be taken into the Man City job. And so his experiences, his maturity of being able to manage up might be slightly better now. But he's in a wonderful, blessed position that they are built. The last 2 years of a year of decline and a year of rebuilding have all culminated in the fact that they've done a double this year. I mean, I can't think of a more boring FA Cup final for some time, but notwithstanding it, they still won it. Right? And they've done a double this year. They won't do the treble. Arsenal will win the league, but notwithstanding that they'll finish second, they'll have won 2 cups, and Maresca will walk into a group of players that are highly focused, highly motivated, and his opportunity is to prove the fact that he can continue. And I always believe, and I said at the top of this show, that you judge a business when the people that own it are not in it. So you judge a football club by the legacy of the person that's been running it for a period of time. Klopp's legacy was to hand it over for a year to Arne Slot, who effectively just finessed it and won the league. Now the image of Liverpool is now Slot's, and it's not so great. Ferguson left a decaying squad. With due respect to Alex Ferguson, I'm not trying to diminish him in any shape or form. And that then created the problems that have then spiralled out of control for Man United over a 13-year period. So we'll see if Manchester City continue. I suspect they will. I suspect Maresca, I mean, the principles behind Maresca was, it's an open secret. He was discussing going to Manchester City with the Chelsea management, which is probably why there was a lot of angst and irritation between the two parties.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut.
Bob Odenkirk!
Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air.
Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
Go.
I'm loyal.
Don't tell me. Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
We'll do Arsenal in a second, but Dean just says, hi Max and Charlie, if we get points deductions, let's talk about the real crisis with this Southampton spying saga, the half and half scarf industry.
That's
the
true.
poor lads are going to have to launch a third scarf.
It's a nightmare for them.
The cost of one of those. Steve says, what time are you getting Gunnosaurus on today's show? I can't take any more.
Next best thing.
Yesterday. Reporter Max Scott was out in North London last night soaking up the celebration as Arsenal won the Premier League. Here's a little taste of the atmosphere.
Well, 22 years of pain, 22 years of disappointment, 22 years, a generation of being called the bridesmaids, of being the bottlers. This is what it looks like. This is what football does to grown men and grown women. Tears being shed here in North London. And sometimes words cannot articulate what football does to people. It cannot do it justice. The cameraman is an Arsenal fan and he's lost his mind. Arsenal fans are absolutely losing it. This man has come from Hong Kong.
Yeah, let's go, Gunners!
All the way from Hong Kong. He left his newborn son with his wife. That's what football does to people.
That's a mistake.
There's absolutely no way.
That's
no
the
way Mrs. Rushden
patriarchy in action there, Max.
It really is. That's the 70s there. Mrs. Rushden is saying, no. You are not going back for that, mate. Ian Stone, comedian,
Hooray.
Arsenal fan. He always comes on when Arsenal are having a bad time. So, Stoney, we thought it was only fair you had 10 minutes to just be happy. How are you, pal?
Hello, mate.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I've left my newborn son in the car. But I've left the window open. You know, it's warm out there, so it'll be all right.
Left your newborn son with Robbie L.
That was so funny seeing that. That was in the swimmer in just round the corner from the Arsenal. My mate Keith Dover.
Keith was in
dancing.
that then. He was in that picture then. I saw Keith.
Yeah, Keith was there dancing. Yes, I think a lot of them went down there last night. Actually,
where were you? What was your
I
your
was
night?
doing new material.
Of course you were.
At this gig. But whoever was organising the gig, it was giving me score updates. So every so often he'd go, City are still losing. City are still losing. And so the gig got sort of happier and more excitable as time went on, really. And then I was on the way home afterwards. And we won the title. And I can't say that I always believed, but I'm just so chuffed. 22 years. Tony Blair was Prime Minister the last time. A pint I was looking at earlier was £2.34 when Arsenal last won the league title.
Wow.
Stoney,
and how does it feel?
Yeah.
It feels it's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's like Christmas when I was a child, even though I'm Jewish, we didn't really do it. But I'm sort of imagining what they did. It feels like my dreams have come true. I've been waiting for this. This hasn't just been this season. This has been a 4-year quest, hasn't it, really? Let's be fair. Second. I did say if we got second again, we should lean into it and have a bus parade with a big 2, right, and a balloon. Do that. But, we don't have to now. We don't have to. And can you imagine? I think millions of people will go to that parade. Millions. And I think... I don't know. I'd hope that most football fans are happy. I imagine. I mean, how are you feeling, Max?
Oh, do you know what? Like, I'm not, like, I don't know. Like, you can never be the right kind of football fan for everyone. But I'm not a hater, Stoney. Like, Arsenal deserve it. They're the best team. A team has to win the league, right? One team has to win the league. The best team wins the league. And there are lots of good people, including you, who I know who are Arsenal fans, who are totally delighted. Your friend of mine, Dave, who's in Melbourne, has just messaged say Stoney's the best. You know, there are good people who like each football team, and I'm pleased for them. So I'm pleased for you, mate.
Yeah, no, it was sort of interesting. I remember when Chelsea won the Champions League. I didn't want them to win the Champions League, but all my mates who were there in Munich when they won it, I was so chuffed for them to experience that. And hopefully, not that I want to be greedy or anything, we get to experience the same thing in about a week and a half. It's been a bit mad this season. I think I've said this to you before. This is the worst best season we've ever had, right? Because it's been painful, so painful. But what I've realised is the last 4 or 5 weeks, A word for Darren England and Chris Kavanagh, actually, because I love those two. I've always loved those two. And so, you know, those moments, and they'll live with us. And I was also thinking about Max Dowman this morning, who has won a league title and he hasn't even taken his GCSEs yet, which is really something, isn't it? So all those Gooners, and you know, I've been watching them for years, and I've been hoping for this. I mean, I can't believe it's been like 2004 when Thierry Henry and the rest of them were celebrating at Spurs. We didn't think it would take another 22 years. No. So, yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed with it all, but it's great. It's what football does to you, you know. It's what your reporter said in that pub. This is what there were people just coming over and kissing him for no reason at all. And there was a lot of that in the last few days, and there'll be a lot more.
Darren England could get on the open top bus as Gunnosaurus, I reckon. You could get him on there somehow. Somehow.
We were thinking of having like a second bus with all the people that we want, you know, on
the
there.
VAR and the refs.
VAR, the whole VAR. Stockley Park can come on, obviously. Andoni Iriola, he can be there, obviously.
Junior Krupi, of course. Yeah.
You know, Erling Haaland can get on if he wants.
That Man City bloke with the bottle, he could get on there just as like a bit of a laugh.
He should be driving it. I think he should be driving it, to be honest with you. I mean, that's got to be a bit embarrassing. But I think there's a lot of goodwill. Well, I say that. Do you know I'm saying that? I have no idea if there's a lot of goodwill.
I don't think there is, Stoney.
No, you're probably
I don't know.
Do you know
I'll tell you what I'm going to say, right? That's what I'm going to say is...
You messaged me, by the way, last night, and I appreciate it.
What I messaged you was that we've worked together a lot on various football platforms throughout the last 15 years. And you've never backed down. You've always turned up when people have said, "Can you come and talk about Arsenal?" We've done it. Max and I have asked you to come on, or Paul and I, or Max has, you know, with the other people he works with. I don't like to mention them. And you've never backed down. And it's difficult being a public face of a football team.
Oh, it's not that difficult, Charlie. No, Stoney sitting in his house going, "Oh, we won last night. We didn't win last night."
But we've had. Stop it, Max.
But you get it, especially in an era of social media. You will have got it in the neck a lot, and yet you've still turned up.
Oh yes.
You know, and I'm impressed by that.
No, because I don't know. Faith is what. I'm not a religious person. I'm really not. You know, I mean, as far as Judaism is concerned, I like the food. Right, this is where I am at the moment with that. But in terms of Arsenal, my faith is strong. You know, and obviously I've been let down quite a bit, but there have been beautiful moments. But it is worth appreciating. You know, in the time I've been watching Arsenal, we've won 7 league titles. So it's been a long. There are long gaps between these things happening, and these are magical moments, and I want to appreciate every second. But when you see all those people outside Emirates, and when we see the parade next week, and what happens in Budapest, and there's a big old family, you know, and I do this Handbrake Off podcast, and we get messages from all over the world, and it really means a lot to know there's people like that guy in the thing. He come from Hong Kong. He left his child.
Yeah.
And while I don't approve of the parenting, I do think it's an amazing thing. So it's really, I'm appreciating the football family tonight and the Arsenal family.
He didn't even go for the gate. He went over to watch Bournemouth City on a screen. What's he doing? I hope he went to the Burnley game.
I didn't even watch Bournemouth City.
Congratulations, Stoney. Well
Cheers,
done, mate.
Stoney.
Thanks, chap. Speak to you soon.
Ian Stone there, comedian and Arsenal fan. talkSPORT YouTube channel, by the way. All the best reaction to Arsenal fans' celebrations last night. Some of you will want to watch them. Some of you absolutely won't want to watch them, but that is the nature of the game, isn't it? It's Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Make the switch to the Toolstation Trade Club. Save 10% on all electrical and lighting when you buy cable and Flex's first stop Toolstation. And now, Charlie, of course, we're going to play I Spy.
Oh, lovely.
So if you'd like to play I Spy, because obviously the spying's in the news, we've done it seriously. Don't get angry. It's your choice. It was really fun last week. The way it works is you're spying the thing, and me and Charlie are doing the guessing. 03717 223344. If you would like to play I Spy, 03717 223344.
right, let's talk about the big breaking news that broke last night. It's been something that everyone's been speaking about for the last 12 months, and that's that Pep Guardiola is set to leave Man City after 10 years at the job. Let's bring in our chief football correspondent, Ags Crook, to kind of open or shed a bit more light on this. Crookie, obviously, look, this is massive news. It isn't a surprise as it is. We knew about it, but we didn't know when this was going to happen. Give us a bit more on it.
Yeah, I think it's the worst kept secret in football, has been for several weeks, if not months now. And that's why I'm slightly surprised, by all accounts, that Pep Guardiola has reacted quite furiously to the fact that this has been leaked 24 hours before a game that could decide Manchester City's title fate. I'll be at the Vitality tonight. If City don't win, it's Arsenal's title. If they do win, we go to the last day of the season and what is sure to be a very emotional final home game for Pep Guardiola, final game in charge of City after 10 years. Against Aston Villa. But as I say, this has been coming. I think it could well have happened earlier. There was a lot of talk about whether last season will be his last at Manchester City. He's given them one more year. It's a round number of 10. He's delivered a 20th trophy, if you include the Community Shield and such like, by winning the FA Cup final at Wembley on Saturday. And who knows? There could yet be a late sting in the tail. There could yet be a treble. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't actually think Manchester City will win at Bournemouth tonight, but we shall see. But it is certainly the end of an era. What next for Manchester City? Well, that's been a fairly open secret as well. Certainly sources at Chelsea have long suspected that Enzo Maresca would be the new Manchester City manager. I understand there is an agreement in principle between Maresca and City for him to sign a 3-year contract. And he's even started to line up backroom staff. Willy Caballero, former Manchester City goalkeeper, someone that Maresca worked with before, is going to go as his number 2. So this could develop very quickly, not just Guardiola's departure, but the replacement being put in situ very quickly.
It is very rare you get the opportunity to play I Spy on the radio. Maybe there's a good reason for that, but we're going to do it anyway. 03717 223344 if you would like to play I Spy. We will do this, maybe not every week, but while spying's in the news, we absolutely will. 03717 223344. We'll do that. We'll do some Middlesbrough in this section as well, and we'll do some Villa as well. Dan Bardell will join us to look ahead to the Europa League final against Freiburg tonight. Commentary on talkSPORT of that game, of course. Just past 3 o'clock. Let's get the sports headlines with Tom Clayton.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Max, thank you. Good afternoon. For the first time, Southampton have apologised for the Spygate scandal. Chief Executive Phil Parsons has issued a statement to fans and other clubs saying what happened was wrong. But talkSPORT's Alex Crook says they aren't totally happy.
The key to it really is that while they acknowledge that they have done wrong, Southampton, they've breached EFL regulations, they clearly don't feel the punishment befits the crime. Phil Parsons in this statement says what we cannot accept is a sanction which bears no proportion to the offence.
Saints' appeal will be heard later today. Now, one trophy down, one to go. If Arsenal do win the Champions League, does this team surpass the squad that went invincible in 03-04? Here's one of them, Martin Keown.
They win the Champions League. Yeah, they do. Of course they do. They're the most coveted Arsenal team of all time because they've taken it to the next level. So they've embraced the past and used that as oxygen going forward to create our new history.
The trophy parade will take place on Sunday the 31st of May at 2 p.m. That's the day after the Champions League final, which is live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Aston Villa have a chance to create their own bit of history tonight. A first European trophy in 44 years beckons when they take on Freiburg in the Europa League final. Club legend Stilian Petrov reckons they'll win, and it's all down to Unai Emery.
You look at where the transition for the club, probably this is the most progressive club in the modern football. You know what? The investment, the recruitment, the results, the consistency, everything. And it's down to this man.
The Europa League final is live on talkSPORT tonight from 7. And Steve McLaren will be working in League 2 next season. The former England boss has been named as head of football at Rotherham United. Get more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
A planned increase in fuel duty this autumn has been scrapped, and the Married at First Sight boss insists contestants were given the appropriate support after rape claims. Sinead has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Sort your new tyres this spring at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Brighter spells developing throughout the afternoon, especially in the south, starting to feel warmer too. The odd shower over Western Hills and in northern Scotland.
Perfect music. Couldn't be better music.
Sean says, I didn't think I'd ever miss Wheel of Football, but I Spy on the radio has me yearning for that previous
Sean,
nonsense.
you've never heard I Spy on the radio, so, you know, come on.
But here we go. And what I want is, and look, we can't control the callers. Maybe they'll do jokes. You know,
yeah, we don't want jokes. We want actual.
I want
play
real
the
I
game.
Spy. Dan is a West Ham fan, has joined us. Hey, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Very good, thank you. We're here for a proper game of I Spy, and I hope you are too, Dan.
Oh, goes without saying.
There we go. Let's play then. Okay, off you go.
I'll go first then. I'm going to go Claudio Caniggia.
Okay, I Spy is it's a different game. You're
playing I Spy, Dan.
I Spy is not Wheel of Football. It's not Wheel of Football.
Not Wheel of
Dan.
Football. You're saying I Spy.
It's nice though. Wheel of Football next week. Paolo Caniggia is a great opening player. Can you see Paolo Caniggia?
If you can see Claudio Caniggia, if you can see,
He's got lovely hair.
He does have lovely hair, but you've given it away. You've given it.
Right, I spoke beginning with T.
T.
Okay, T. Okay.
Towel.
Okay,
a towel. Where are you?
No,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting at outside my little boy's school.
Okay.
Okay.
Teacher.
Traffic light.
No.
Okay.
No to both. Teacher.
It can't be anything else. It's so bad thinking of things.
It's quite rural. His school.
Tree.
To be fair. Yes.
A tree.
Yes. There we go. Well done.
Wasn't a great round. I'm going to say it wasn't a great round. Started off with the.
I really like Claudio Caniggia. Okay, Mitchell is a Leeds fan. Welcome, Mitchell. How are you?
Hello, Mitchell.
Evening, chat. Afternoon.
Afternoon. Very good, Mitchell. Thank you. Yeah.
Listen, what we're really hoping is you begin, rather than with an Argentinian footballer of the 90s, you begin with I Spy with My Little Lie. But look, do whatever you want to do, Mitchell. It's your time. Here we go.
So just a quick one.
Yeah.
This new I Spy game, does it have to be something I'm currently seeing?
Yeah.
Ideally,
here we go.
yes,
This
that
feels
is the
like
way
a
I
joke.
Spy
Feels
works.
like a joke's on its way. Good luck, Mitchell.
Here we go, Mitchell.
Okay.
Yes, please, Mitchell.
I Spy with My Little Lie, something beginning with C.
T.
T. Is it a tree?
C.
C.
C. Oh, okay.
Hang on a minute. Put your finger on the dumb
car.
button.
No. Keep going.
Keep going.
C.
I like it when they're
he's on the
annoying
road. yeah, really
go on,
annoying.
Charlie.
Keep going.
Get on with it.
C. Clutch. Can you see your clutch? Maybe you're driving automatic.
Not quite. Do you want me to start to tell you what it is?
Yeah, but let's just be careful. But yeah, go on. I'm looking forward to this.
Don't worry, I do cover stuff for Sky Sports, so I will always keep everything clean.
Okay.
Good stuff.
So, the C is Championship. I can see Southampton in the Championship.
Oh, there it was. I knew something was coming. There we are. Very good. Very
good stuff. Joe is a Liverpool fan. Hey, Joe.
How you doing, boys? All right?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good, thank you. Are you here for an official game of I Spy? Are you going to play properly?
Official indeed.
Okay, good luck,
Good
Joe.
stuff.
Good
Okay,
luck.
off you go, Joe.
I Spy with My Little Eye, something beginning with V.
V.
A vacuum cleaner.
No.
Okay.
Virgil van Dijk.
Unfortunately not.
A van.
No.
No.
V. Where are you?
There must be more than Charlie. There's
Your
more
wife's
than
not
three
there, is
things in the world beginning with V. There are more than three that you're out. Van, Virgil van Dijk, and vacuum cleaner. Well, that's it. That's V done, isn't it?
Okay.
Is it a Vanessa May LP?
It's not. Would you like a clue?
Yes, please. Clue, yeah.
I live in Erdington.
Live in Erdington.
He lives in Erdington. I mean, that is
that near? Is that what's Erdington?
I don't know what that is, Joe. That clue doesn't help us, Joe.
It's an area of Birmingham.
An area. Oh, Villa. Can you see the Villa?
Villa Park. Villa Park.
I can see Villa Park.
Oh,
Villa Park.
very
good. I like how he plays.
Very
Do you know what
good.
we've established, Charlie, is quite how bad we are.
Yeah.
I Spy, and that is
But
something we
seeing
hadn't
Villa
thought through.
Park would be tough, wouldn't it? I'd say if you were playing I Spy, I'd say I Spy something beginning with VP.
VP.
And then we'd have got
it. But I liked how Joe played the game properly.
Yeah, very good.
Unlike, I believe, how the next player is going to play the game.
Okay, well, let's
But
see.
It is customary for how to finish, how we play I Spy. Patrick is an
If MW turns up on this, Patrick, we're in big trouble.
So presumptuous. So presumptuous. Diego Simeone. Oh, no, different game. Yeah, let's get the rules right.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, my Lord. A new law.
Okay.
I spy
Come on,
with
Patrick,
my
off you
little
go.
eye, something beginning with MW.
No. Motorway.
Get your mind out the gutter.
Okay.
Come on.
Right, is it a real clue, Patrick, or do we need to get rid of you soon?
It's a real answer. It's not the original, but it's the real answer.
It's not the OG. Okay, fine. Microwave.
No.
Okay.
2 words.
2 words. It's a 2-word phone. Never call again. MW.
MW.
Former Ipswich player Mike Whitlow.
Oh, nice. I like that.
No. Bearing in mind what tonight is.
Oh, okay.
Is,
it is a Villa fan. It's the Europa League final. What can he see?
Come on.
Martin Yol. No, it's not it.
That's MJ.
MJ.
I'm so bad at this game, Charlie. It's amazing. I'm bad, man. You're appalling. 3 words beginning with V and you're out. And now MW and you've got Martin Yol.
Yeah, I was put off. Darren Bent's just taken his jacket off and he's got Thierry Henry's Arsenal top on.
Villa legend.
Martin With. That's Peter With.
No,
Peter
Darren
With.
Bent's a Villa legend.
Oh.
So what have you got? It's the Europa League final tonight.
MW.
It's MW.
I can't think. Bad at it.
Can we have a clue? Can we have a clue?
Yeah. Match winners. Come on.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't
know what he said.
May as well have said Maria Whittaker. May as well have said that.
Match winner.
What?
Match winner.
Match winner.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, how are we going to get that?
Come on, the Villa. There he goes, Patrick, the Villa fan. Wow.
Steve says, I spy with my life, something with T. Tree, yes. I love you two, but you've taken this show to a new level.
Does feel like a new low this week. The I Spy, I've enjoyed it.
I think it's a new high.
Okay.
I think it had everything. It had Claudio Caniggia.
It had people doing jokes.
It had 3 words beginning with V, and that is countdown is not for you. It's what I would suggest. Veruca, Ben's just texting Veruca.
Very good.
So we get to this stage where a man is taking his own time to text the word Veruca to us. It is Max and Charlie on talkSPORT. I like the listeners going, Hawksby and Jacobs built this for 25 years.
And now
look what you're doing.
On the radio, killing it.
They wouldn't be brave enough to play I Spy.
The birthday spread back tomorrow.
This is painful, says this text. You're listening to Try playing it. This is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Open from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Grab what you need, get on site, get it done. First stop, Toolstation. We'll speak to a Middlesbrough fan in just a second.
The one and the only Martin Keown is in our midst.
Jimmo just having a drink out of this bottle. Just to reaffirm, if anyone thought we lost our bottle. There it is.
There it is. Is this the same bottle as that Manchester City fan
and it
was
tastes
glugging
beautiful.
out of?
Tastes beautiful, by the way. So, no, congratulations to the club, firstly, Jim, to the players, the supporters. It's been a lot of pain. There's been a lot of commitment, a lot of energy's gone into it. You lose it 3 times. Something that we did as a group and this group now, just to see them, win the Premier League. Fantastic moment for the club. The supporters, I was at the ground last night. Honestly, the amount of support that was there instantaneously, fans everywhere, Jim. There was about 100,000. They're claiming 100,000 people there last night around the ground. A great moment. Fantastic for Arteta.
Yeah.
You guys questioned him. I felt that this would be the year, and it's proved to be the case. So, very satisfying.
Just to be clear, you were at the Emirates and you were there on Arsenal duty, were you?
I was doing a pitch event. A lot of the clubs do this, and I just thought I need to stay. I need to keep an eye on this. And it was watch the last 20 minutes. I thought Bournemouth were absolutely magnificent in their endeavour. Just the honesty of this Premier League to win it. I think people are saying it's not the best Arsenal team of all time, but you know what? The Premier League now is so competitive, Jim. Bournemouth, look at what they're achieving. Their manager doesn't even have a club for next season, but look, he's going to leave the club that Bournemouth in the 6th place. So I knew it was going to be tough for City, and I think they ran out of steam in the end. And Pep, I thought maybe that would give them a little bit more energy, a bit more oxygen, that the manager announces pretty well that he's going on the day of the game, but it proved not to be enough in the end.
I need you to give me a straight answer to this. Have Arsenal, in your view, been the most discredited champions in recent history?
I don't know if it's the day for it to discuss that.
Oh, yes, it is.
I don't think it is. I think we should look at what Arsenal have achieved.
Bottlers.
What I do know is
they've been discredited in some quarters, and you have not liked that.
Not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
Go.
I'm loyal.
Don't tell Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Yeah, with 2026 FIFA World Cup almost here, thanks to Adidas, the tournament's official match ball supplier. talkSPORT is sending you and a friend to Dallas, Texas. You could be at England's first game against Croatia on June the 17th with return flights, accommodation, spending money, tickets, and the official Adidas match ball, the Trionda, all thrown in. Ready to get that winning feeling? Here's Charlie to tell you how to enter.
For your chance to win, head to talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50, plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Entries must be in by the 1st of June 2026 at 4 p.m. And that's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a TalkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now.
Jonathan's been in touch. I absolutely love listening to you two guys, but this is terrible. Regards, I Spy. Apart from the guy playing the wrong game and then suggesting only rural schools have trees.
That's true.
Jez says everyone knows Villa Park should be VP.
Yeah,
there simply must be standardised rules. Local rules lead to chaos. And the I Spy International Association laid down the requirements of multi-word, multi-letters years ago, sorted out. Roy says, I hear with mightily 2 more on stealing a living.
That's true.
Ben says it took longer than you think. I had to Google how to spell Veruca.
Oh, yeah.
Vuvuzela, says Craig in Swindon. Ryan says, I knew talkSPORT were going to try and kill my joy of seeing Arsenal win the league. I just didn't know it would be with I Spy. Anyway, we'll talk to Daniel Gray, journalist, author, Middlesbrough fan, in just a second. But this from Hull City. They're consulting lawyers to see if they have a case to be promoted straight to the Premier League after Southampton were kicked out. Hull officials are not happy they now have to face Middlesbrough at Wembley, pending that appeal, of course, after spending a week preparing to play Southampton. Hull players had a pre-arranged day off today, meaning they'll have just 2 days to train to play Borough if Saints' appeal fails. Daniel Gray, let's chat to him, author, Middlesbrough fan. Hey, Daniel.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Max. Hi, Charlie.
Yeah, look, great to have you on. There's a total mess. The whole thing is a mess, isn't it?
It is a mess, and it's so much over to the legal side now. And, I've got a This Life box set, but I'm no expert, so it's really hard because we're back now to that stage of waiting around. Like last night, it's like you asked the girl out and she said yes. You sent the follow-up text this morning and there's no blue ticks. That's how I feel. I've got I've got the trains, I've got the hotels, I've got the match tickets all sorted, but at the same time, my stomach's in knots and I'm just waiting for people in wigs. If these judgy people are wearing wigs, I don't know, to decide all of our fates, really.
And do you feel like you deserve to be in the playoff final, or do you feel like it's a bit of a free hit now because you lost, or what's your sort of emotion about the whole thing?
Well, confused all over the shop. If you going back sort of the 4 or 5 months of the season when we've played the most exquisite football and at times been by far the best team in the division, that kind of fell apart March, April when the squad was really tested. So on that count, on a footballing count, we certainly deserve to be up there, and we're gutted not to be promoted automatically. But this whole, I don't know what to call it, Ferrari shenanigans from us, seen as a live up in Scotland, is just, you forget about the football. And I want to get back to worrying about, thinking about Hayden Hackney's calf too much. I want to get back to that. I want to get to strategising how we're going to get enough cans for Wembley Way. The things that we can control as fans. It's just been lost. I haven't thought about football as such. I haven't even got the Wembley dread yet because I've been to Wembley 4 or 5 times. I've been to Wembley every time Borough have been. They've lost 4. They've drawn 1 in the 100 and something minute in extra time. So I haven't even thought about the Wembley curse yet. I want to be left alone to think about my own the normal negative things, not the removed ones.
Yeah, in your books, Dan, the brilliant Saturday at 3 p.m. and many others, you write about the sort of human side of football, the things we all experience as football fans, and I think that's why this case has got through in many ways and created some sort of level of, not disgust, that might be a bit too strong, but just the human side of it, of the human level of cheating, just is something about it that makes us all go, no, not that. You can do sort of more or less anything, but not that.
Yeah, it turns out we have got a line, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think, and so I've never felt such anger as I did in that first leg game, but I must say the fans channeled it brilliantly. From the best Riverside days I've ever had. And again, being down there at Southampton, what an atmosphere in the away end. And that righteous anger is, we've found a lot of unity from fans across the board over this. There's disagreement about the punishment, I think, today, but certainly the issue itself. We need to believe in this game. This is our escape, as I've written so many times. And of course, there's so much money in the game. We know players die, and there's always impurities. But in the end, we go again and again because we love it. And if we think people are doing things like this, it's a horrible old thing, really. I like everyone else, laughed at first about all of it. I laughed again with the treat,
Yeah.
But especially when it's your club and you see your own manager close to tears, who we've all fallen deeply in love with, Kim Hellberg, you stop laughing, really. And there's the amount of money we all spend. If you think, I'm travelling around, I travel to all these games, I travel hundreds of miles, times everyone does this. And if you're thinking it's very impure, someone's able to do that, then it taints all of that. It taints those magic Saturdays, or occasionally magic Saturdays.
Yeah, and also like. This whole idea of the football family is just so ridiculous, isn't it? You know, it's there when it doesn't, when there's no self-interest. And now Hull, and maybe they have a point, but they're going, well, maybe we could not have to play, just be in the Premier League. That would be good, wouldn't it? You know, like
I did say that on the top of the show, and I'm wondering if I've given him that idea because they have since released that.
but then Hull are just lucky that they didn't have to play Southampton, right? If it had been Hull v Southampton, then the Hull would have been inspired. You know, like at no point in the game, and like I think we all come from the sort of same side of our love for football, which is just don't peel the curtain back too much, or just hope that there's something.
Yeah, don't get too close.
Just being like, just play. Like Hull, you got to the final. That's good. Now play. Like I agree, it's tough for you. They're in a really difficult situation. But don't you try and get out of playing the game as well. I don't know. I mean, it's not their fault as well, right?
Knowing so many Hull fans, and a great club, one of my favourite cities, one of the best away days indeed. I bet there's an awful lot of fans who, like me, want to think about the train down now. They want to pick a pub. They want to visualise Crooks scoring the winner, which is our absolute nightmare, our lovely Matt Crooks ex-player. We all want to get on with that a bit because we haven't even sung Que Sera Sera yet. I sang it. I opened the poem last night and sang it to myself. But I got to this morning thinking, should I have been singing that yet?
What an image!
You got to say Que Sera Sera pending appeal
on your own.
The new version, isn't it?
I tell you what I want to ask you, Dan, is Michael Carrick, obviously your previous manager, having really great success at Man United. Would you have seen that when he left you?
Not at that time, no, it's fair to say. It ended in quite a stale way at Borough, but when we think back to the early months of his reign and at times in the other seasons, it was clear he had something as a coach, and I think he's young enough that the players that he's in charge of really remember him and idolise that. And that reminded me of when we had Brian Robson, and just about anyone would sign for us because they idolised Brian Robson. So I think there'll be a lot of players that want to play for him, and we've seen that, and he is capable of playing beautiful football. But again, the Manchester United circus, will he end it? Who knows?
Yeah, I love your idea of, fans controlling the controllables. Cans on Wembley Way. Eddie says, let the guy know they've banned beer on Wembley Way since Barrow's last visit.
What?
They
I would have normally known. I would have been on Google Earth looking for dodgy parks in Wembley for my camera.
Plenty of those.
You might have to go to a box park. Like the best part of living 10,000 miles away is, when the show's at the box park, I can't go. And I love the box park, of course, Daniel. You've written loads of books. What's out at the moment? What should people buy? All your books.
Do buy all his books. They're brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much. I've got wrote a book about Sundays last year, which is about how Sundays have changed and what Sundays are like now. The paperback of that's out tomorrow, actually. That's Sunday Best. And then coming down the line in September, I've done a book about football fanzines and the golden era of fanzines.
Oh, good stuff. Well, we'll get you on to talk about that when that comes out, Daniel. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Daniel Gray there, author and Middlesbrough fan, and they're in limbo, and Southampton fans are in limbo, and Hull fans in limbo. I mean, they're going to play, but they don't know what time kickoff is.
Should just maybe Millwall should just play at Wembley on Saturday.
Do you think on their own? Well, they should play Wrexham.
They should play exactly. I mean, what do you do?
But like it is, I sort of sympathise with everybody involved in it. Like almost everybody, sort of situation.
Everyone except about 5 people.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know. I'm just I'm too woke to be angry with people, Charlie. Maybe I can. Don't cheat. It's bad. It's wrong. Yeah. But still, the intern, I feel sorry for.
I feel sorry for the intern. Yeah.
And maybe that thing. If you're in different countries, maybe if the idea that this is, like Bielsa owned this, right? When he did it for Leeds, he was just like, oh yeah, this is just what we do. And it hasn't fallen back. People
he
still
paid
love
the fine,
Bielsa.
didn't he, as well? Bielsa paid the fine.
But you can't say Don Record because you paid 200 million quid. That's slightly different, isn't it? But I people make mistakes, and it shouldn't end his,
coaching career.
His coaching career,
unless it's all based on that, seeing what the opposition are going to do. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, then he should just become a spy, right?
Exactly.
He's really good at that. join MI5. Anyway, it is. I think you should promote Hull and Middlesbrough and then relegate Tottenham and West Ham. Says this text.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that would be. God, that would legally it's tricky, but I could see it being funny. Anyway, Max and Charlie with you until 4. We'll do some Villa in just a bit. Paddy's challenge, and then Dan Bardell will join us ahead of the Europa League final tonight.
It is a sensational story and so many strands to it. And I've seen a lot of Southampton fans who've come out in condemnation of the club. They say this is the darkest day in their long history. And I think a lot of Southampton fans are quite embarrassed at the way in which their name has been dragged through the mud. As you say, the punishment is immediate expulsion from that playoff final on Saturday, the £200 million game. So they have been stolen of the right to possibly get back into the Premier League the first time of asking, and a 4-point deduction for the start of next season. That's because, as I understand it, the EFL argued that the playoffs needed to be treated as a separate cup competition. Obviously, Southampton admitted spying on Middlesbrough, so that's where that punishment comes from. They also admitted over the course of this hearing with the Independent Commission spying on at least 2 other Championship teams, which is why there's also a points penalty for next season. Southampton appealed it immediately, not because they feel they're innocent, but because they feel the punishment doesn't really befit the crime. One of the things I was told coming out of St Mary's is they feel this is unprecedented. It is, because there isn't a precedent. I know that Marcelo Bielsa escaped with a fine, but it was only after that incident ahead of the Leeds final playoff with Derby that it was put in the rule book. So this is uncharted territory. Southampton have told staff in an email that I've seen from the chief executive, Phil Parsons, their legal team are confident they've got a strong case. They're going to keep preparing for this game on Saturday. I don't think it's going to be overturned in terms of Southampton being allowed to play this final. What could happen is a sort of halfway house where the points deduction gets rescinded. But I think there's enough evidence that Southampton will not take their place at Wembley. We're hearing stories of analysts dressing as staff wearing the kits of non-league Eastleigh when Ipswich were using their training ground in order to spy. So this is quite sinister in many ways. This is not just some bloke who's turned up at the Middlesbrough training ground and filmed a few minutes of training. So I think they're banged to rights. I think they've shown very little contrition. I think it's poor that we haven't had a statement from Southampton in the aftermath of this punishment. We still haven't heard officially from the club.
Yeah,
we're a long way down the line now. Surely they should have had something prepared.
For the first time, Southampton have apologised for the Spygate scandal. Chief Executive Phil Parsons has issued a statement to the fans and to other clubs saying what happened was wrong. But as talkSPORT's Alex Crook discusses, they aren't totally happy.
The key to it really is that while they acknowledge that they have done wrong, Southampton, they've breached EFL regulations, they clearly don't feel the punishment befits the crime. Phil Parsons in this statement says what we cannot accept is a sanction which bears no proportion to the offence. He points to Leeds United.
Saints' appeal will be heard later today. Now, 1 trophy down, 1 to go. If Arsenal do win the Champions League, Invincible Martin Keown reckons this team surpasses what the squad achieved in 03-04. The Gunners' trophy parade will take place on Sunday, the 31st of May at 2 p.m. That's the day after the Champions League final, which is live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Aston Villa have a chance to create their own bit of history tonight. A first European trophy in 44 years beckons when they take on Freiburg in the Europa League tonight. And club legend Stilian Petrov reckons they will win, and it's all down to Unai Emery.
I mean, you look at where the transition for the club, probably this is the most progressive club in the modern football. You know what? The investment, the recruitment, the results, the consistency, everything. And it's down to this man.
The Europa League final is live on talkSPORT tonight from 7 p.m.
Challenge on talkSPORT with Hawksby and Jacobs. What critics are calling one of the many radio quiz segments happening this week. Paddy Power. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
Our time now for Paddy's Challenge, our quiz for charity in association with our friends and official betting partner Paddy Power. In Paddy's Challenge, we put our knowledge of the wonderful world of sport to the test with the chance of raising lots of cash for our nominated charities. I'm playing for the Sporting Memories Network, Charlie raising funds for the Rowcroft Hospice, helping to manage proceedings and ensure fair play as our guest quizmaster Ben Fletcher. Welcome, Fletch.
A very good afternoon, gents. In Paddy's Challenge, you'll each be asked 3 multiple-choice questions posed by the voice of Paddy Power, Alistair McGowan. The winner will be the player that scores the most points. In the event of a tie, you'll both win the chance to raise some cash for your charities. The last time we played, Charlie, you won.
Did I?
Backs Manchester City to beat Palace in their Premier League meeting last Wednesday night, which they did 3-0. That's another £25 into the Rowcroft pot.
Lovely
Let's
stuff.
see. Lovely stuff indeed. Let's see if we can raise some more cash for your charities this week. The virtual coin toss has taken place. It has determined that Charlie will be going first on this occasion. Billy's back on the buttons, you can tell, can't you? Slick.
He's very
Slick
good,
with the
isn't he?
production.
It's like having a pro.
Yeah. He sits over in 75 grand corner now, have you noticed?
Assists in a season last weekend as Manchester United won an entertaining 5-goal encounter with Nottingham Forest. He joins 2 other players on 20 assists. Who are they? A. Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry. B. Cesc Fabregas and Mesut Ozil. Or C. Frank Lampard and Mo Salah.
Lampard would just shoot, wouldn't he? So I don't think so. I'm going to say B.
Oof. It was A.
Oh.
Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry. With 1 game remaining, could Bruno
Henry with
take the record?
assists.
Yeah. According to what it says here. Complaints at talksport.co.uk. So a miss for Charlie. Max, good afternoon. An opportunity for you.
Hello, Fletch.
To take a 1-0 lead. Here it comes.
Here I go.
Golfer Aaron Rai became the first Englishman in a very long time to win the US PGA and lift the Wanamaker Trophy. The last English winner was Jim Barnes, who won it in which year in the 1910s? A. 1916, B. 1912, or C. 1919?
C.
1 point to Max.
Oh. Correct. Did you know that, Max?
Yes.
Very, very impressive. Aaron, I believe you.
I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know about it until about 3 days ago, but I read about it.
I think though, isn't it? It's in the news this week.
Great story. Aaron racked up a whole host of firsts. First major, first non-American to triumph in a decade, and surely the first major champion who wears 2 gloves while he's playing.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Continuation. Yeah, a continuation of how he learned the game as a child.
There's jockey gloves.
Yeah, there's
jockey gloves.
There's a little video of him when he was like, he couldn't walk, but he could hit a driver. And you're like, okay, well, my kids aren't going to make it. It's too late.
It's over.
Isn't it? 4 and 1. Too
Castle
late.
tees. He wears orange and pink Castle tees. He uses 2 gloves. His driver's 6 years old. Iron covers on his irons. You know, you got to play the game. You got to play the game.
Take it seriously.
Exactly.
You don't get many golf parents on sidelines, do you? Like yelling at their kids.
I bet you blooming do.
You reckon?
It's a nightmare.
I bet you do. Yeah.
On the fairway. So 1-0 to you, Max. An opportunity, Charlie, for you to get back in the game. Here comes a non-league theme to your question.
Oh, okay.
Here it comes.
In last weekend's FA Trophy final at Wembley, Southend United beat Wealdstone on penalties. Wealdstone scored 2 penalties in the shootout. How many did Southend score? A, 4, B, 3, or C, 5?
They wouldn't score 5, would they? Because they only scored 2. The other team had scored 2. 4.
Correct.
1 point to Charlie.
Correct answer. The Stones missed their first 2 spot kicks of the shootout before going on to lose 4-2, with Southend's Gus Scott Morris scoring the winning penalty for the Shrimpers.
Bad luck.
Sacked their manager, didn't they?
Yeah,
Sacked
they
their
did.
manager,
I know, yeah.
FA Trophy.
It's outrageous.
Terrible.
Not good enough for Southend.
Tim Pot level.
Well, level above where you're playing at the moment. Max, here comes your second question.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
In women's rugby, England's Red Roses sealed a Grand Slam win in the Six Nations with a win against France last weekend. How many Grand Slams have the Red Roses now won? A, 7, B, 5, or C, 8?
7.
Oh dear, oh dear.
It was indeed 5.
5,
Charlie
yeah.
was correct. 5 successive
Well done,
Grand
Charlie.
Slams,
Okay.
8 Six Nations titles, the Rugby World Cup title, and a world #1 ranking. So strong, it says here they've broken the spreadsheet. So, Charlie,
Strong, isn't
Well, yeah, it's strong.
That wouldn't break. The number 8 wouldn't break a spreadsheet. I'm not a spreadsheet expert, but you can definitely have bigger numbers than 8 in a spreadsheet.
having flashbacks to a past life of VLOOKUPs. If you know, you know. Charlie, here comes your third and final
Sounds
question.
very sinister to me.
Very-
I wouldn't
Do
admit
not
to that.
Google VLOOKUPs.
Don't admit to that, Fletch.
And
You're on the
don't-
radio.
And certainly don't do it from a VPN. Charlie, here comes your third and final question.
Chelsea lost the FA Cup final to Man City last weekend. The club's most recent meeting before that in a final was the 2021 UEFA Champions League final, which Chelsea won by what scoreline? A, 1-0, B, 2-1, or C, 3-2?
I don't know this. I think it was 1-0.
Is that what you're going with?
Correct.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz, yeah. Blossoming.
Of course, yes.
Slow start to his Chelsea career, got the winner
Yeah,
3
Pep
minutes.
overthought it. Didn't play a
Premier
holding
League winner.
midfielder. You know that
Before-
one, yeah.
Premier League winner, Kai Havertz.
Half time, indeed. There's one for the pub quiz. So, Max, the stakes are very, very simple. You need to get this right to split the pot. Get it wrong, and Charlie is taking home the charity cash, figuratively speaking. He's not literally taking the cash home.
Was
Here
he?
comes
No.
your-
If I get it, no, we share it, surely.
Share it. If you
Oh, no.
get it.
If you
Oh,
get
what
it
did you
right,
get?
you share it.
Have
I've
you
got 2. I've got
I
2.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I've not been concentrating.
Come on
Well,
now.
that-
Concentrate on the out.
That doesn't surprise me. Here comes your third
Sorry.
and final question, Max.
But I'm here.
Manchester City won the FA Cup last weekend for the 8th time with a 1-0 win over Chelsea at Wembley. How many times have City now made it to the FA Cup final? A, 15, B, 10, or C, 17?
The answer is 17.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh.
Incorrect. 15 is
15.
the correct answer.
But I said it with such conviction that surely I'm right.
Can we give him half a point? No, we can't.
Definitely read 17 somewhere.
A 15th final and the 4th consecutive final appearance, a first in FA Cup history. So, Charlie.
Well done to them. Well done, Charlie. Congratulations.
Thank you
to
so
You're the
much. Win again.
champions.
I win again.
I bottled it.
Yeah.
I bottled it.
Yeah, where's the... There's a branding opportunity for someone there. If only we had a head of marketing in this company.
Here we are. Right, here
Congratulations to you, Charlie. You are today's winner. You've won a free £20 bet that Paddy Power will place for you, so you can try it and win some cash for your charity. Just remains for me to ask, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to say I want to just win money for the charity, but I want to do a proper bet. But I'm not going to. I'm going to say Villa to win tonight.
Outright.
The Freiburg. Outright.
Is it after
in 90 minutes?
Win in 90 minutes.
Win in
okay.
90 minutes.
We'll see. Remember, that's live on talkSPORT. We'll see how you get on and reveal the winnings next week. Thank you, gents.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Fletch. I had a nice time. That's this week's challenge in the book. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power. 18+, begamblerware.org.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. 18+, begamblerware.org.
After us, Sandy Goldstein, Darren Bentham Drive, kick-off with Adrian Durham. It is live commentary of Aston Villa versus Freiburg in the Europa League and all the fallout of that in the Sports Bar with Jamie and Jason from 10. Dan Bardell, broadcaster and Villa fan, will join us in just a second to look ahead to that game. It is Rushden and Jacobs. No, it's not. Baker. Jacobs, Baker, you're Baker. On talkSPORT. They're all interchangeable in partnership. It's just a big family, a big warm-up H&J family. Brought to you with Toolstation. First stop for everything for the job from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Start strong, start right. First stop, Toolstation.
I mean, he's been given 7 years. And of course, during that 7 years, what he's done is incremental progress. And there's a little bit of flatlining. I mean, I wrote an article in 2023 saying that they had to spend £250 million to stand still after that first season where they finished second and they blew it themselves. And they did spend £250 million to stand still because they finished second each season. But you've seen the evolution of his thinking. You've seen the evolution of the manner in which it interacts with the media. You've seen the style of play change. Yeah. But you've also seen them become more competitive in Europe at the same time. Because people turn around and say you can't have both. If you're going to do well in the league, you might find yourself being compromised in the Champions League. But they've gone deeper in the Champions League than perhaps some of their predecessors, notably Arsene Wenger did for significant periods of his time during his tenure. So he's won on most fronts. So you have to give him all of the plaudits that this achievement deserves, because the end has justified the means.
What was the defining moment, Danny? Did the signing of Declan Rice appear on that particular list, if you're looking at what really clinched it?
Well, he's been a big factor, but he's been there a little while where they haven't got over the line. So I actually thought this season, the defeat at Arsenal kind of Man City set them free a little bit, because then they became the chaser and it was a bit like, oh, nothing to lose, let's go. And they went again. Although they weren't brilliant, it still gave them a new focus and a new impetus.
Well, some thought they'd bottle it after that.
They did, because they've done it before. But I think Arteta deserves... When you look at the numbers, which I was looking at last night for the last 4 seasons, the 3 seconds and then the win, this is their most pragmatic season. They've been more... they've scored more goals in previous seasons. They've been more expansive, let's say, better to watch. And he made a conscious choice this season of becoming even more resilient and more difficult to play against.
Yeah.
And that is a brave decision, side, because if it didn't go well,
it can be castigated.
Yeah.
I mean, success in football has an irony, because it's often an orphan. It's attributed to one person, and failure has many fathers. In this instance, success has many fathers, because I think you can take it back to the decision to break up the dressing room, to get rid of Aubameyang, and to be supported in doing that, for Kroenke to have the penny drop and bring his son into it, so there's day-to-day interaction between the ownership model and their change of direction from being people that were prepared to invest very little to people that are prepared to give the first-team manager the tools to go up against the opposition. So I think all of these things on the way bring out this end result.
Not wig. It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark!
Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
Go.
I'm loyal.
Don't tell me.
Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
This is good. Solution. Southampton cheating out. Borough lost out. Hull won through to the final to play whoever finishes 18th in the Premier League, either West Ham or Spurs. On
Great
Saturday
shout.
after next. Great shout.
That's a great shout. The Scottish way.
West Ham fan. Used to be like that, didn't it? Years and years ago. Now, Rupert the Bell, big Villa fan, is out in Istanbul, soaking up all the atmosphere out of the Europa League final with Freiburg tonight live on talkSPORT. Here he is with the Villa faithful.
It's a few hours before kick-off. It's certainly lively wherever the heck we are in Istanbul. I haven't got a clue. The ground is somewhere over there. There's plenty of Villa fans already sampling plenty of the FS. I'm not sure how many are going to make the game. Are you going to make the game, young man?
I hope so, yes.
Hello, hello, young man. Why, you're someone of my age. Were you in Rotterdam?
No, I wasn't. I couldn't get a ticket.
You tried?
I tried, but I couldn't get one.
Are you older than me?
Gotta be. How old are you?
Personal question, but I'm old. This is Turkey for you. This is this. Oh! I've only had one. How many? Well, you don't look old enough to drink.
Is this going on the radio?
Well, that's the whole point. That's what we're doing here. Say hello to Gabby.
Hello, Gabby. Up there, Villa boys. Oh, Gabby. Gabby, Bongo.
Come to see the Villa.
Champion, yeah, champion.
They have no idea what we're saying. Yippee-yi-yo! Whole tenders in the sky. Lovely. I hope I make the 10 o'clock kickoff.
I know.
That was so great. I'd like a series of that.
Just Rupert's he's like too posh to sing football songs.
Whole tenders in the sky.
E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Up the football league we go when we win promotion. Anyway, a man listening to that is a massive Villa fan who isn't there, and that probably made him feel awful for not being there.
Yeah.
Dan Bardell, friend of the show. Hey, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, chaps. You okay?
Yeah, good. You've made the right choice,
good.
Dan. You've made the right choice.
The right call. We talked about it at the top of the show, Dan, but, you know, your dad is the reason you love Villa, and he's, you know, not well enough to fly to Istanbul, right? So that's why you're staying.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday when I was going through social media on my Instagram stories, like literally everyone I know was either at the airport or already in Istanbul. So it was tough to look at times. But in all seriousness, I do think I've made the right decision. Like seeing Villa lift a trophy with my dad, even if it's at home, because it's been so long since we won a trophy. I think I'd look back with more regrets if I didn't do that than perhaps I will if I'd have done it the other way around. So it's tough because literally everyone I know, it feels like they're there. Obviously, I've just watched that package with Rupert. My main takeaway from that was I'm not sure Rupert knows how old he is. That was my biggest takeaway.
I'm not sure Rupert knows where he is at any point in the week.
But yeah, look, I'm so pleased for everyone that's out there, and there's loads of people obviously not there as well. It's a huge night for Aston Villa, and I'm just glad to see that the Villa fans are representing themselves well as well.
So what is the night then? Cans and a takeaway?
Yeah, so something like that. So I said to you earlier, Max, when you text me, I've got to go over to his and pick him up, and he's just ordered like a new walker. So I've got to go and sort that out before we can come to mine and watch the football. So it's like the least rock and roll thing before a football match ever, isn't it? Building an old man's walker. But
that's good. That'll take your mind off it. I think that's a good activity.
Yeah, my wife and her two sons and my new baby, they'll all be there as well. I'll get her in a Villa kit. Couple of mates coming over as well for a few beers. So look, I'll have a great time unless we lose, which, as we all know, in cup finals is the main thing not to do.
Yeah, if you lose though, you've done exactly the right thing because you don't have to get home or anything. You can just turn it off and you're at home and it's like, oh, okay, great stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You have to queue for the toilet, do you? That's good.
Well, I might actually. There's a few people at the house.
No, that'd be disappointing. What I was going to say was, are you worried? I'm not worried that. I think some fans will underestimate Freiburg. I think a lot of people who don't really. I don't know a huge amount about them. I'm not going to profess that I do, but I think you feel confident that Unai Emery won't.
Yeah, look, he'll have done his due diligence, won't he? I think the interesting thing from an Emery perspective is that probably 80% of the other finals he's been in the Europa League, he's been the underdog. Villa are firm favourites here. So that's a different angle to it, perhaps, to what he's used to. But I know how much the players have to sit through on a daily basis when it's just a normal Premier League game. So to think what they'll have probably had to sit through ahead of a cup final, they'll be well versed on what Freiburg do. And look, Muggs, if you get to any final and they've got a big set piece threat. I think they've scored the most set pieces in Europe, even more than Arsenal, from what Kevin Hatchard told me. So that's an unbelievable stat. And there's some similarities between the two teams as well. I mean, neither are really adept at winning trophies. Freiburg have never won anything. So I genuinely think the first goal will be massive. If Villa score the first goal, I think we'll win. If Freiburg score the first goal, we've seen with Villa previously in games, sometimes their football can be a bit frustrating and we look a little bit slow. So I think it's massive for us to go ahead. But I do genuinely believe, because I'm not there, we will win the trophy.
Going into the season, I think Villa fans were pretty confident. If you don't win tonight, is it a slightly disappointing season? How do you feel about it, Dan?
I think at the backdrop of what happened in the summer and how difficult the summer was and the awful start that we had, and in all honesty, we've not been brilliant in 2026 either. To qualify for the Champions League through the league cannot be looked at as a failure. I know other teams have really let themselves down this season, but Villa have done well to get top 5. We had the lowest net spend across the entirety of the league. So that in itself is a massive achievement, and actually I think removes a layer of pressure this evening, because if we'd have been going into tonight needing to win a trophy and to get Champions League football, I don't like the thought of that. But for it to just be one of the two things that we really, really need, I feel a little bit better. But no, I wouldn't look at it as a failure. But, if we don't win a trophy this season under Unai Emery, if we don't win the Europa League with Unai Emery as the manager, we ain't never going to win anything.
Yeah, and look, it can be such a springboard. Just look at Spurs. Hang on, are you like who's the key for you? Like McGinn playing so well. He's just come into such a rich vein of form. Watkins as well. I know that you don't. It's Onana's out, isn't he? And Ross Barkley not in the Europa League squad. So centre mid is a bit tricky for you, I guess.
I think Onana's fit, but it's whether or not he'll get picked to play or not. I would be leaning towards starting him from the bench and bringing him on, in all honesty. Watkins is in great form, as you say. Every time McGinn's ever scored in Europe for Villa, they've won the game. That's been 3 seasons in a row in Europe where that's happened. For some reason, I've just got a real feeling for Emi Buendia. He seems to have just popped up in the big moments all season and got crucial goals. But I don't know why. I've just got a feeling that he'll end up being the match winner for some reason, because the resilience that he's shown this season. Well, he hasn't always played great. He's had some really bad games in 2026, but he's a moments player. And I've just got a feeling that it'll be him that wins the game for Villa. I don't know what.
Well, look, Dan, thanks so much.
Dan.
You're making the right call, Dan. And
thanks,
may
Max.
you and your dad.
I hope your dad has a great night.
Trophy.
Cheers, chaps. Thanks very much.
Dan Bardell there, broadcaster, Villa fan, friend of talkSPORT. John says, Rupert Bell sings, you're going home in a private ambulance.
That was really good. I'd like to send Rupert in amongst the people more and
really
more.
Good fun. I really enjoyed him saying, up the whole tent, here we go. Anyway, that's pretty much us done, Charlie.
I've enjoyed it.
I had a nice time. Thoughts on I Spy? You think we can it? I reckon I'm more committed than you are.
I liked the hybrid version we did last week, where people could speak about something serious, if they wanted to.
All right. Well, if it's not in the news, we won't do it, of course. So maybe it won't.
We'll see. We'll move on.
Wednesday. All right.
We
thanks,
keep
Charlie.
going. Thanks, Max.
Back with Paul tomorrow.
Back with
Birthday
Paul tomorrow.
He's got to make the change.
Oh my God, Mwani's one of the worst players I've ever seen. He's give the ball straight to Cole Palmer. He's give the ball straight to Cole Palmer. We're going to go 2-0 down. I'm telling you, we're going to go 2-0 down. I told you! I told you! I'm the Chills! You can see it!
Can you believe it?
You can see it happening! You can see it happening!
I'm the Chills! I'm the Superids! I'm the Chills! 2-0 Super Blues!
It's a joke!
Get in!
It's a joke! You can see it, Marloff! Get in! I can see you! I told you! We'll go 2-0 down! I told you we would make a mistake! Mwani, get out of our club!
I'm the Chills! 2-0! Ball's given away! Cole Palmer! Who give that? Ball goes out
Mwani's
the right
giving
side.
straight to Cole Palmer!
Ball comes in.
Honestly! This team is absolutely garbage! This team is so bad! It's unbelievable! It is so bad! I said to you, as soon as them subs, I said to you, Jace, as soon as them subs started to get their shirts off, I said, we'll go 2-0 down. Pointless!